podcast ever recorded. And today, we've been contracted by the government to head into Frogtown. I got the boys here. It's time to roll. Let's go.
I would be very hesitant to go to Frogtown.
Why? There's like 6 frogs there.
You can just go to the bar. It's not a big deal.
That's the only ones we saw. There's probably a lot more. And you know how many babies they have?
None?
That's a good question, actually.
I don't know.
It would be easy to put on a frog mask and masquerade around as Frogtown.
Or the gas mask guys
like
were frogs.
Oh, yeah.
Because legit, they look like not frogs otherwise.
AKA the ones we didn't have the makeup for.
Right.
We just put the bags on their heads.
Bags on their heads.
I only had enough time to make 6, guys.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
pretty much true.
I'm so excited for Hell Comes to Frogtown. I feel like this is a movie that's been floating around BMR for a long time, whether it was suggestions in mailbags, hosts that have seen it and said, we should be doing this. Roddy Piper.
Who's the host that said we should be doing this?
Chuck.
Woo! That's me. I sort of forgot that part of my life
it's
before
all
I came
right.
back.
It was a long time ago.
I think maybe this came up somewhere, and I'm like, oh, one of those late night Tubi shows. You're like, maybe I'll watch that. I think I saw They Live. That was a Piper movie, right?
Yep,
that's
it was.
a great Piper movie.
Absolutely.
And then I'm like, well, let's check out some of the other stuff.
Yeah, so I think it was a random thing, and then you just were like, make sure this is on the list.
Space Truckers, baby.
Oh, and that one too. That one's going to happen at some point also. Space Truckers. Welcome in. Oh, the dirt farmer Clint Busch is in the house. Hello.
What's up?
Welcome. How are you?
Good.
You having-
Fantastic.
you
I'm
having
having a great time.
weekend?
Yeah, no. Fantastic weekend.
Great.
It's Sunday afternoon, and we're recording on a Sunday afternoon, which means I have tomorrow off. What up?
Yes.
Finally here. Let's
You get
go.
days off when you own a business?
Just Monday. And I have tons of business stuff to do,
You got to
but
talk to your boss, man.
this sounds terrible. Tons of stuff to do tomorrow, but no customers.
Yeah, I get it.
Hey, all right.
I mean,
Sounds
it's
nice.
Perfect.
devastating.
Brian Draws Movies is in the house as well. Hello, sir.
Hello, I am here. I hope I have tons of customers tomorrow.
You're working then tomorrow, no Monday off.
Well, I am working, but I meant with the drawings and the mugs
Yeah.
and the prints and all that.
That's
Feel
right,
free.
which is available
Buy
at
it all.
BrianDrawsMovies.com.
Go out and get some, dude.
Check
They're
it out.
actually really, really cool.
Or come to the Forge and grab it.
Yeah, there's a big
you're around
old
there.
Tommy Boy one, a couple $100. You can walk home with it.
Nice.
It's the big ones. There's much more affordable options. I don't want to make everybody think it's
Yeah, no,
$200.
That's not the only option.
But you can buy a big one if you want to. Get on there, guys.
Sweet mugs, too.
That's right. Absolutely. He's got an Ernest mug, so he's a cool guy.
Oh.
Die in a fire, James.
Also, Chuck,
fired.
as we've already said, is here because there's no way we're doing Hell Comes to Frog.
I know. I feel honored.
You having a good weekend, too?
Yeah.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah, I missed church this morning because I slept in, and then I was late for this. So
perfect.
I'm batting 1,000 for that.
Nothing wrong with an occasional lazy Sunday. You know what I'm saying, man?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Good day. Good week.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad that
Oh,
you
I
guys...
went to Bacon Fest on Friday.
What is that?
Wait.
At Walworth County?
Yeah.
Nobody was invited to Bacon Fest with you?
I mean, I took my kids.
I didn't know that was a thing.
It is a thing. I don't. It was good. A lot
Okay.
of bacon. There was
Well, I would hope so,
a
Chuck.
Journey cover band, and there was going to be a Led Zeppelin band.
Were there hot tubs there
There's always hot tubs there.
to jump in? No, I mean,
No. They're always selling hot tubs.
yeah, someone literally
Yeah.
today, I was like, you know what? State Fair comes around. I might buy a hot tub this year. They're like, go to Walworth County Fair. It's hot tub and bacon
Well,
fest.
there was hot tubs there. You're right. We drove in, and I was confused. There was a horse show and then hot tubs, and I'm like, wait, is Bacon Fest not here?
Why do hot
That's how
tub
they cook the
companies-
bacon.
Yeah, why do hot tub companies like go, this is where we got to sell hot tubs? Anytime they're slinging sausages, bacon, rib fest,
I
doesn't
know.
matter.
Gotta have a hot
That's
tub.
where we got to have the hot tub.
These guys have funnel cakes in their bellies. They're going to want to jump in a hot tub.
Heck yeah, man. I love it,
It
guys.
was good. Actually, I think there could have been a little more bacon. There could have been more specialized bacon.
That's so disappointing.
But it was good. I'm glad I went. It was fun.
Just regular bacon, and that's not what you're expecting when you go to bacon.
No,
Did they have
had,
frog
like-
bacon?
No, they did have chocolate covered bacon. They had maple bacon ice cream.
Yeah,
That was
for
pretty
sure.
good.
Gross.
They
Were
had
there any bacon mascots?
Poutine. You gotta be careful how I say that.
Oh,
Careful.
Poutine with some bacon on it.
Sorry to all our Canadian friends out there.
Bacon wrapped hot dog.
Yuck.
Poutine was my favorite thing there.
Well, you should be very popular among our Canadian listeners then.
Yeah.
Here's what we're going to do. If you've never listened to Bad Movies Rule, we're going to go through this movie scene by scene. We appreciate you're in here. We are a comedy podcast mostly, so before you get upset, if you're like, hold on, Hell Comes to Frogtown's my favorite movie. We cover movies that have bad ratings, and then we are trying to find bad movies that rule. So we'll give you our opinions at the end. But thank you guys for being here and for listening.
This is your favorite movie. We might need to seek some help.
Every movie is somebody's favorite movie. I guarantee you, there's someone out there. This is their favorite flick.
His name's Roddy.
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
Could you imagine the guy's mom? It's like, this is my favorite movie. My son was in it.
You know how hard it is to find custom Hell Comes to Frogtown bed sheets for my kid's race car bed?
It might be Donald Jackson, the director's favorite movie.
Oh, let's talk about Donald Jackson. We're going to get into the vitals right now. Donald G. Jackson wrote and directed this movie. You guys ever heard of Donald G. Jackson before?
Nope.
If I was to show you a list of his films,
I looked at it.
You would be like,
unbelievable.
hot, stinky, glorious, wonderful garbage.
Yes.
Okay. Like, look, it belongs on Trash to Pieces.
Rollerblade 7.
And the return of the Rollerblade 7.
What was the movie we did with rollerbladers?
Prayer of the Rollerblade.
Yes. Was it like the same time competition?
I don't know,
I almost
but
feel obligated to see
I feel like we have
Rollerblade 7.
Well, then there's
just
also
because.
Roller Gator.
Yes.
Yes.
So-
This man's obsessed with large reptiles.
And
Or
rollerblades.
amphibians, I think, actually.
They're all getting added to the list. Throw them all in the hopper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's unbelievable. There's just two sequels, too, to this.
Yeah. there
Return
are.
to Frogtown and Toad Warrior, which they re-released as Max Hell Frog Warrior.
Do you get it? Toad Warrior instead of
Road Warrior.
Road Warrior.
Yeah.
I'm in.
There's also like an Armageddon Boulevard or something like that. I forget what it was, but it had the logo from Armageddon
That's a dangerous street.
with another another word underneath it.
Awesome. Just
It's an unbelievable list of movies, and one of them was literally rated 1.3.
it's Armageddon, and then in Comic Sans, it's the next word that they just typed over it.
Yeah.
I respect that. But then here's what's even crazier, and this is not. So Randall Flake is the writer. He co-wrote it with Donald G. Jackson. Okay, Randall Flake, another movie he wrote, which had nothing to do with Donald G. Jackson, was Rollerblade Warriors.
Okay.
The writer wrote a separate rollerblading movie.
Really?
And then the director directed a whole bunch of rollerblading movies.
Wow.
So this is the biggest bromance that probably ever, when they saw each other across the boardroom.
You Blade?
That music started playing.
Yeah.
There was sparkles.
You're the guy that made Return of the Rollerblade 7, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was me.
Yeah.
And Rollerblade 7. I didn't get the rights to 1 through 6, however.
I've wanted to work with you my entire life.
These guys, these actors all work together on all of those crappy movies.
Oh, yeah.
They were like, we're in. Donald called, honey. All right, another movie we're going to make. What kind of reptile amphibian we dealing with now?
Tens of dollars.
I'm going to be busy for a whole week.
That's right.
I think it took them-
The chameleon ninjas.
Yeah, it's seriously stuff like that. It's unbelievable, that list. I can't believe that the guy made a solid livelihood on
No,
this
hey,
stuff.
so bless him, I guess. Right?
King of B, C, D movies, man.
The budget for this movie was exactly $1 million.
$1 million.
It was at $1.3 million, and then they lowered it. They cut the budget to $1 million for
Without
unknown
telling
reasons.
anybody.
And they had to like scrap a bunch of stuff, simplify the fight scenes, take out all this other stuff they were going to do, and so at the last minute they had a third of what they thought they were going to get to spend on this film.
Do you know why?
No, I don't know why.
Well, here's what. No, I'm kidding.
Do you know?
I do know. Well,
Oh, please.
I didn't. He had directed a direct to video.
Okay.
And that was good. It did well for him. So they're like, well, let this guy do this new one. He threw him the pitch like, no, this is good enough to be a division, like a movie theater release.
Oh yeah.
So they go. They were unsure, though. I just was reading this. They were unsure about his directorial ability, so they put that Kaiser guy with him.
Did they see Rollerblade 7?
I know. They got in all kinds of fights, and then they're like, I think we better knock some money off of this, and this isn't going as well as we hope. And then like, nah, we'll just kick it back to direct to video. So they ended up spending. I think they were going to give him $500 for direct to video, 100,000. Then it went up and up and up, and then at the end they're probably kicking themselves, going, "Man, we should have kept that 500,000 budget."
So we really got a gift.
Yeah.
They doubled their
Yes.
budget. Of
Just imagine what the
direct-to-video
special
option.
effects would have been like without
The guy, I couldn't believe this.
extra 500,000.
Yeah.
The guy that did the frog makeup and costumes did all of them for $12,000.
12 grand.
Wow.
That's
Probably,
it.
probably showed.
But still,
That's like 19 grand in today's money.
it's not that impressive until like the makeup's not that impressive until you realize they only spent $12,000 on it, and all of a sudden it's way more
Yeah.
impressive.
Well, imagine how many times you had to go back to not Walmart at the time and pick up more makeup.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm saying Kmart, whatever.
Yeah, Zare.
That's a deep cut. All right, budget was $1 million. The box office for this, not really.
I never found any numbers on
This, I don't think, because there is none.
that.
But
Oh, it was direct to video.
yeah, it was direct to video.
That's right.
It had to have made money.
This is where things get
Can't
absolutely
let him
crazy.
make movies.
Because you look at that guy's filmography and you think most of these movies fall firmly in the 3 to 4 range on IMDb. A couple, as you said, even under 2. This is a 5.5 on IMDb.
Solid.
Hell Comes to Frogtown. Yeah.
That's my jaw hitting the floor.
And
Insane.
it's crazy. It's crazy. And it's fresh on Rotten Tomatoes with a 60% critic score.
I think that's right there where it should be, and everything else is wrong.
And the only reason it qualifies is because there's a 47% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. So the audience is lower than the critics.
And the critics?
On Hell Comes to
That's
Frogtown.
surprising.
There's some freaky critics out there.
I guess
Bro,
Know what
I
I'm
couldn't
saying?
believe this as I was looking it up. I was like, this is going to be in the toilet with the critics.
Every single one of those doucher critics went to college with one of the guys who worked on this
Probably.
thing. That's
Probably,
what it
man.
is.
Yeah.
Probably. Well, I didn't go to college with any of these guys, but I'm happy that they're here, and I'm happy that you're here. If you want to reach out to the show and interact with us, the best way to do that is to email us at thisshowIstrash@gmail.com, and we will answer your emails, or you can call us 262-757-8567, and we'll get your voicemails answered as well on those same mailbags. I want to draw your attention to a couple of things before we go into our scene by scene here. First, we've got a couple of spin-off shows. We've talked a long time about all the shows we have on Patreon, which you should definitely go on there and check out. But we've got a couple other shows, one that's already launched and one that is launching soon in the future. And so every other Monday, you can catch Brian and Dave on Samurai Movie Jam. That is on our BMR feed. So if you've ever been scrolling through the feed and you're like, what is SMG? What is this? This is Brian and Dave doing new release movies.
Yeah, it's been a blast.
Yeah.
We just recorded our 3rd episode.
Yeah.
We just did Ballerina, from the world of John Wick.
And it'll either have just come out or right after this. It depends on when this releases.
Well, we
But
just recorded it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a blast. It's been an honor to be around here, be able to do our own thing. We're covering new movies, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what the rating is. We talk a lot about ratings, compare them to other movies that are out there. So we talk a lot about movies, not just the one we're seeing. If you haven't seen the movie yet, it's not a big deal. We don't spoil anything for you.
Yeah.
If you want it spoiled, that's fine. Join the Patreon for BMR, and we'll spoil the poop out of it.
So check out Samurai Movie Jam, and then launching as its own show. So this isn't even going to be in the BMR feed. It's going to be its own brand new podcast with its own feed. It has not launched yet, but keep an eye out for it. Watcher Texas Ranger.
What's that about?
Watcher?
That is us watching Walker Texas Ranger,
Wow.
and then talking about each episode.
I didn't know
Wow.
we had such a Walker Texas Ranger fans in the group.
We don't. We have 3 guys who have never watched.
Never once
Oh,
watched.
this is new.
This is brand new watch through for all 3 hosts there.
And so yours truly, Clint and Ryan Madela, are going to be going episode by episode through Chuck Norris's glorious 90s series.
That's quite a few
Walker
episodes.
Texas.
You guys are
196.
committed. You're committed to something there.
Oh yeah, no. Well, now
don't-
that I'm full time,
I don't know if anyone would blame you for not doing the whole episode.
but we are.
Okay, I'm impressed.
We've already got 3 episodes recorded.
We've
Okay.
already been to Japan.
Yeah, we've already traveled. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. That's
Wait,
true.
Walker went
traveled-
to Japan?
Well, they went across the street to a hotel
studio
room
and
with
made it
the
look like-
rice paper walls. Yeah. But otherwise, yeah, we've been to Japan.
Wow.
We've been to Texas. We've been to Mexico. It's international.
I didn't realize Walker was such a international man of mystery.
And my good friend Pacific from Cineverse, I was sitting there talking about what are we going to call we're doing a Walker Texas Ranger thing, and he's like, obviously it should be Watcher Texas Ranger. So I can't even take credit for that title.
Yeah.
Thank you to Pacific for that, and look for that soon. We'll be promoting that more as we get close, but just wanted to put that out on everybody's radar. All right, let's pay some bills. It starts in a voiceover, you guys, as almost every stinking movie we talk about does. Here's some exposition. The nukes dropped. We really thought it wouldn't be a big deal, that maybe 1 or 2 would drop and everybody would start talking.
Yeah,
But
we're like,
Yeah,
hey,
the
we're good,
world's
we're good.
experts said, yeah, it's probably just going to be a few nuclear bombs.
Yeah.
And that'll make them start talking. That'll
Yeah.
drum up some
It's too
conversation here.
scary, and
Peace
everyone will
treaties.
stop.
you take out Tulsa and Baltimore, and then
Yeah, that's fine.
Then they'll come to the table. No, they'll just wipe you off the face.
It worked that way in the 40s, guys. I mean,
Well, I guess that's true.
2 and out. We're good.
That's right.
Just 2.
History would prove.
But in this case, that didn't happen, and apparently 10 years later, they did it again.
No, that wasn't what they meant.
But that's the
I
way
had
it
to-
That's what they
sounded.
said.
We had to rewind it and listen to it twice. Yeah.
And then make some
Trying
of
again.
your own conclusions.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a little confusing. That beginning exposition.
We don't know how long it's been since the bombs, but sounds like,
But good thing they still have footage of them.
yeah, they do.
They still have footage. The footage of the bombs survived the bombing.
So I've watched a lot of movies.
Yeah.
A lot of movies, apocalyptic movies. They all have these These are legitimate nuclear bomb shots. First time in my life, I had the question of, doesn't the U.S. government own these videos? Or these
You would
movies?
imagine.
Do they sell them to people that want them in these movies?
I'll tell you what, put these in the top secret vault. But if Canon Pictures comes,
Seriously.
or New World Pictures comes over,
Death comes to Hell comes to Frogtown. Sure,
charge
let
them
them use
$6,000.
it. Yeah.
I was gonna say $25.
I'm going down that rabbit hole when we're done because I'm seriously curious about that's not, or maybe it's public domain. I don't know.
I have no idea, man.
The guy with the key was a huge wrestling fan.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Oh crap! It's Roddy.
Talking about rowdy, slip him.
All right,
Slip the key.
look the other way for a second. Here you go. Oh, oops! I dropped this footage over the gate. Yeah. So, the movie opens and it's a desolate wasteland, and we see this bro in a gas mask, covered face, picks up a Statue of Liberty tchotchke.
Hold on. They're saying the world is decimated and this is New York and blah, 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 blah. Is we're looking at the Statue of Liberty and I'm initially like, the Statue of Liberty survived on that big on that huge towering pyre, but there's no water left? What the hell happened? And then the guy goes and picks it up. I was like, I'm a moron.
Clean. Oh, you bought.
Yeah, I'm a moron.
I saw it and I went, they're trying to sell this as the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
And then he picked it up and I was like, oh, thank God.
I thought
using
Planet
it.
of the Apes.
Yeah, well, Planet of the Frogs is basically the movie. He some other drifter comes by and snatches it out of his hand and throws it away and basically
He's like,
Not only
spoiler
are you
guys.
ugly, but you're dumb too.
yeah.
Like a
Called him
4-year-old
Squidlips.
using his opposite hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was more a shot put,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird.
Called him Squid Lips. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's weird. Why would you call him Squid Lips?
And how do you even know he's a beekeeper?
That's true. He had a mask on and
He's
everything.
keeping bees. This poor guy was just
Then-
getting the honey out of his thing. Guy came around, whack.
That's right. But those don't keep out radiation, so all those beekeepers turned into
Frog people.
frog people, and now they ate all the bees. And
He called him Greener, too.
Yeah, he's like, you green. Well, because first the guy, the gas mask guy on the ground pulls out a gun.
Yeah.
And he's like, you greeners aren't supposed to have guns. And I'm like, that sounds very racist.
Also,
Doesn't it?
maybe if all greeners could have guns, you wouldn't treat them like such trash because
Yes.
you would assume
Yeah.
he had one.
I don't think you're allowed to. I don't think you should be allowed to say that. It
You
sounds
can't
like
say greeners?
no. It sounds like something only frogs should say to each other. Right? Like, what's up, my greener?
Well, no, it's, it's got, with the hard R like that, yeah, it's greena. You say greena, it's okay, but not
I'm
greener.
just saying, dude. That's what it's like. Don't be that.
You're not
it's not
wrong.
okay. It's not okay.
not wrong.
Okay. All right. I didn't say anything wrong.
My other thought was
So you had that thought too, and you also had another thought.
yes, my other thought was the guy, he pulls out a gun and then he's like lecturing him on the law. Like
Right.
at that point, I'd be like, oh,
Well,
ribbit, Mr. Greener. I mean, excuse me, Mr. Frog. I'm sorry I threw your. I'm gonna go get that statue for you. I'll
But
pick it up and clean it off real good.
stealing statues is okay though, right?
I'd be like, oh shoot, I messed with the wrong Greener.
I did like how after you shoot him, he hits him with a ribbit and then title screen.
Yeah,
Yes.
little croak and then the title.
Right before
At
that.
this point,
And a-
I'm a little excited.
And a very, very serious title screen too.
Yeah.
Like beautiful still shots and music and names and. That's when they were going direct to. That's when they were going to full movie release there.
Oh, can you imagine seeing this on the big screen?
be awesome.
This might have to be our next BMR party watch along. We'll see. Sam Hell is the main character. That's Roddy Piper. We're
What the
introduced.
Sam Hale?
Just,
That's good.
bro, am I a moron too?
Really?
Because I didn't even think about
I
it.
think the whole time. Like, what the Sam Hale?
Yeah, yeah. My wife called that one out too.
All right, I am an idiot, I guess. He's captured. He's captured by an angry sheriff / border agent.
He's the New World Order guy.
Is that what that
He
is?
works for the government,
Okay.
but not the cool part of the government.
He
the
looked like a
medtech
local
government.
cop.
Well,
Right.
I mean, they got budget problems and
okay.
I don't think he's at the border yet because he gets sent there as like a, yeah, you messed up. Just go to the border.
No,
Send
this-
to the
That
border.
might be.
This guy's pissed off because this guy was philandering his daughter.
He stooped
Right.
his daughter.
Well, then MedTech is this other government agency rushes in to save him because they found out We found out this guy's carrying around a loaded weapon, and he's she got pregnant. The daughter's pregnant.
And the guy's like, how's that possible? He's like, well, yeah, because he's carrying a loaded weapon.
Right. This guy has left a wake of pregnancies. In his or a trail of pregnancies in his wake, rather.
Yes. And that's a big deal because there's like 5 guys that are fertile.
Right. He tries to stab him anyway.
Yeah, he does. Oh, that's right. He hits him over the head with the bottle. That was quite the after opening credit scene.
I'm like, why? You're not happy that you're a grandfather? Apparently, when nobody can get pregnant anymore, you should be thrilled that your daughter's
a national hero now.
Yeah.
Right. Do you imagine how many little Roddy Pipers are going to be like the future? Everyone will be descendant from Roddy Piper.
This is the timeline Idiocracy came from.
I feel like we're already there. Maybe this is the sequel.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I need to flash forward 200 years later when society is all put back together, but everyone's like 1 to 2% Roddy Piper.
Yeah. With a He-Man haircut. Yeah.
It's incredible. Everyone's wearing kilts. Yeah. All the men are in business kilts. Right? That would be crazy, man. All right, so they bring him in after. So before we get to that, Spangle is one of the nurses that runs in from MedTech.
Yeah,
she's played by
is.
Sandahl Bergman, who we last saw in the Red Sonja movie as the evil queen, and well known as Conan's girlfriend in the first Conan the Barbarian. And she comes in and hits the freaking cop with a little judo flip and gets Sam Hell out of there. Okay.
Gets a Sam Hell
out of here.
All right. Now when I say it out loud, I hear it.
And this poor other woman, right? And this makes sense because they lost all this money.
Yeah.
They couldn't get her a damn nurse outfit that fit her. No. I felt so bad for her.
No, they had what they had.
Yeah, I guess.
And that was it. And they're like, look, you got to squeeze into this.
Yeah, we made 2 for her.
Yeah.
Well, you're just going to have to fit into hers. Sorry.
Look.
That woman was good.
She was great.
I like that nurse. She was great.
I like the opening shot of the lab. Be fruitful and multiply.
Yes, there were so many great ones.
A little Bible verse on the wall there.
No condoms.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. The condoms.
No condoms.
The future is in your hands.
I was like, yeah, it probably was a lot.
Apparently, this movie was a lot more raunchier originally.
Oh, in the original
the
strip.
lines and stuff, they cleaned it up a little bit.
I mean, we'll get into it, but go ahead.
At that point, didn't they have artificial insemination sort of thing? Like he couldn't have just...
Yeah, my wife asked about that.
But all those doctors died in the nuclear blast.
Oh, that's what
no one knows how to do it. No one's left. That
No
knows
one's
how
left.
to do that.
Now all the I'm gonna get in trouble. All the basters were gone.
All the basters.
This is why I will never work in my former job again.
All the basters melted. All the basters melted in the nuclear heat. The fallout, the winter of the fallout.
Got it. So Thanksgiving sucked and no babies.
So we have dry turkey like crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
No one. People will tell stories about we used to have moist turkey, and then also
that's right.
that.
Yeah.
All right. So Rowdy's got a chastity belt on him.
So funny.
An electronic chastity belt.
Yeah.
It says "property of the government" on his groin.
Works for the government now.
You know, it takes a special guy too, a special actor.
Yeah.
They pull you in and they go, "Hey, we wrote this movie."
Yeah.
Okay. You're a tough guy, and but the whole time we're gonna have to wear a metal diaper. And there's scenes where that's pretty much all you'll be in.
Yeah.
We're going to put a shock collar on your jaw, basically.
Cool. How much?
Well,
I thought of that too.
yeah.
I did then think, well, he was a wrestler, and they wear those like Speedo shorts, don't they?
That they do.
He's kind of comfortable in little clothing, but he had a flap though.
And that's what
Supposedly, yeah.
He had a
There's
loincloth.
flap.
How do I get to my dingus?
Yeah.
There's a flap.
But then he also had a loincloth, so he was
true.
covered.
He
He
did.
had some modesty there.
We're prepared to offer you a clean slate. We need you for important work.
Yes.
And I'm watching this with my daughter, and she just screams,
Oh, no.
"Touch grass!" at the TV. She's like, whoever directed this movie or wrote this movie needs to go touch some grass. He just wrote out his fantasy that he's needed to propagate the entire species.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's all I felt like. It's like, this is some perverted
Yes.
wet fever dream
Yeah.
that someone wrote down and went, "What? You'll let me make it?"
Yes. You need me to. Not just you'll let me. You have to save humanity.
I've got to tell you, usually when I watch porn, it's going to take months to watch an 88-minute long porn. But because this one was so plot heavy, I was able to muscle through in one go.
His pee-pee is government equipment now, she basically says to him. And then the super high-budget newscast comes on the television.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
This is, anybody recognize her? She's the dirty cop from Cobra. Okay. And here she is as the newscaster in her one scene. She says, there has been a frog massacre. They've kidnapped some women. This is the news. Like, whatever. Okay. But it's to expo dump, basically.
Everybody got that?
And then outside of the MedTech building, up pulls this pink car.
47 Chevy panel van.
I'm glad you're on this show because I was trying to find out what those cars were. They weren't in the trivia.
It was a van?
That was cool.
Yeah, that was a panel van.
Chuck, I promise at some point I'll say something you're going to say. I'm glad you're in the show.
Oh, yes.
If not, just make something up.
Okay.
All right, it was a 47 Chevy panel van,
Sure.
painted pink with a mounted gun like a Humvee
Yep.
Yeah.
on the top of it. And my daughter was pissed off because they said the male population has decreased by 70%. And Jenna goes, oh, because of course once the girls are in charge, it'll be pink cars we drive around like Barbie cars, right?
Yep.
That's what we'll do. I'm like, that's fair. I think that's a fair criticism.
This is a man from the 80s who's never been laid. Of course
Yes.
that's what he
The guy who wrote this absolutely thought that.
Right. Well, make the cars
They
pink.
even have a
girl.
line in here where he's like,
Well, I
some
like
people think
pink.
women have too much in control of what's going on around
Yeah.
here.
Right.
Yeah.
I like pink, though. Nothing wrong with pink.
I don't think the girls are changing anything for the worse.
I mean, the gun
Pink
wasn't
car
pink.
pulls up.
Damn it.
It shoots glitter, Charles. You didn't see that part.
I mean, the way she held it was maybe a little
The way she
inappropriate at
polished
times.
it. The way she polished it the whole time. Yeah.
Her only direction was,
Yeah.
here's a rag, just
Yeah.
polish the gun.
Oh, yeah. And her name's right, Cintronella.
Cintronella.
Yeah.
Like the candle.
Yes.
Exactly. That's exactly what I
Oh,
thought. of.
scintilla.
It was not Scintilla.
Because it was a lot like Cinderella.
It was Cinderella.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about that.
It was like the candles.
The Cinderella candles.
Cinderella candles, yeah. And that's what I'm going with.
The salmonella candles.
All right, they pull up to the border station. The only people in the car is Cintronella, Spangle, the nurse.
Centinella.
Centinella. We were both
kind of right.
Okay.
Centinella.
They pull up to the border station, and these two guys are lounging in lawn chairs, and then, like, you're in the middle of the frickin' desert. It's got to be the worst job.
Total, that is not the outfit you wear when you are outside in the desert.
Should they be border stationing in their underpants, Clint,
Right.
or what should they be doing?
No, I'm just saying they have
their gun clipped to their-
like,
to
no, I
their
think
tidy
they'd be
whities?
covered up so you wouldn't burn.
Okay,
so
well, they
bad.
were covered up.
No, they arms out like armless shirts and stuff.
Oh, I got it.
yeah, like,
Sun's
nah,
out, guns out.
I don't think that's right. Yeah.
How many people do you think they get at that border crossing? When there's 17
Three.
people in the entire world at this
3
point.
total. This is the only
Right.
time it's ever happened.
Right. They're just like, oh my gosh, what do we do?
I want to point out something before the scene. They're driving through the desert,
Yeah.
California desert, as always. And the song played is the same song that they play at the end of Doctor Strangelove when Slim Pickens is riding a bomb down to blow up.
No way they were trying to be that clever.
I think so, maybe.
Wow.
I was very impressed.
That's
that
it.
song comes back.
Gotta
a few
give them
times.
kudos, I guess, where
Yeah.
it's
Yep.
deserved.
When you first see these guards, too, they show their patches on their shirts.
Oh, yeah.
And it just says Frog Stomper, but it looks like a grade school art project.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
like, did they make those themselves and put it on there? Or is that supposed to be
100%.
Yeah,
sold?
probably. They're out bored, kind of like, let's just make some patches today, fellas.
They
We'll
pulled
do
out the
that.
pipe cleaners
Activity
and the
time,
felt and-
Activity time at the Border Patrol post is, hey, let's do that.
Was that the same guy from the beginning?
I was going to ask,
it is.
who-
It is.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell.
then why have his face 3/4 covered with sunglasses? I could not tell either.
It was sunny.
Right.
It's bright.
That's why you did. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I questioned at the beginning when we were talking through this. He threatens to kill them right there on the spot, but ultimately she's got the mounted gun, so he's
Right.
like, all right, fine, let him through, whatever. And they're off over the border and into even more desert. And as they're driving along, this is where Sam Hell is finally like, where the hell are we going? And she tells him, we're going to Frogtown.
Frogtown.
Those girls that they stole are fertiles.
Fertiles.
Okay, they're worth their weight in
How do they know
gold.
they're fertiles?
I don't know. They checked.
Oh, that's true. They do check a lot. It may be a big deal. I guess you're trying to. Be
I'm not a
calculated.
doctor, so I don't know how that works, but they know somehow. It's her job. It's literally her job to know. Like, she'd probably be eating at a restaurant on a sidewalk, and people are walking past, and she go, "Nope, yeah, yeah, nope, nope."
Yeah.
It's like Santa Claus. Good, bad, good, bad.
They know. They always know.
Always watching.
And of course, Sam Hell's pissed. He's like, "It's just the three of us. Like, we're in trouble, man. We can't go to the res.
Right.
Like, there's no way in hell this is going to work out." And the first, I don't know how you guys felt about this, but I felt like either they ran out of money or what, but this whole first part of the movie is just a lot of driving and stopping for gas and camping.
Shocking his testicles.
And shock, and which we're going to get to here. But just like a lot of nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
It is incredibly boring until 20 minutes left.
Yes. Yes. Then
It's
it gets a little
incredibly
different.
boring. I love too. She's like, "How are we going to do that?" And she's like, "I have a plan."
Right.
She must say that 5 times in the movie.
She does.
And at the end of the movie, I was like, "What was the plan?"
Yeah.
Right. They're at the end is like, see, we saved you with the plan.
Exactly what happened was the plan.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to eventually bring the girl in who has the big gun.
That's right.
It's actually pretty smart just to be like, "No, it's a plan. It's a plan.
It's a plan.
And when it's all over, be like, "No, that was
Yeah.
the plan."
I mean, they're going against Frog, guys, so it's probably not that complicated. Like, you
What are
know,
you saying?
we're not dealing
Are you
with the
disparaging
cream of
the
the
frogs?
prop here.
You were about to say greener, weren't you?
Yeah, maybe. I don't want to get us in trouble. I don't want to get us in trouble with the FDA
With
or
the
whatever,
frog, the FDA, they're the ones
whatever the
that
group
care about the
cares
frogs.
about frogs.
PETA.
They stop to gas up, and while they're gassing up, he's like, "I gotta pee. I'm just gonna go."
He's like, no escort, no guard.
I don't know how they didn't believe him. His acting was incredible.
I was going to say he really sold this
he
too.
really
Like,
did.
I'm gonna water
gonna-
I did read
roses.
that
Yeah.
they hired an acting coach for him.
Before or
I
after
don't-
this scene?
I'm guessing.
After the movie,
I was going to say, I
for
don't
the next
believe
movie.
You. I think this is
I think in his
a lie.
in his defense, he got better as the movie went on.
The first part was rough. When
Although
he-
I recognize they don't make movies in movie order always.
No. When he crested the hill, and he's like, "See you later, ladies. Much later."
Oh, and when he starts running,
Big
it's like that those videos you see where they roll the cheese down the hill. Yeah, and everyone's like, "Whoa!" Like doing tumbles. It's like, why is he running like that?
Bro,
He was watching a lot of Tom
not
Cruise
hard-
running.
It's hard to run when you've got a piece of
That's
metal
true. He's got a metal
around
codpiece
your
on.
whole. Like, yeah, he's got a whole thing on.
Yeah.
I want to see you run down a hill. Where on
Yeah.
Patreon, we're gonna shoot
Say
this
it,
video.
say it.
Okay, we're gonna put on a metal chastity belt, and we're
Yeah.
gonna have you run down a hill.
So not
Do we
only
all have
did
to
you
try
want to
it?
see me in a metal chastity belt, you want to record it.
So
Posterity's sake.
that's right. I am a scientist in a way when it comes to these old movies.
Yes.
Sure. I'll shoot it at home and I'll send it to you.
All right, please do that. Thank you. Appreciate that. Well, while he's running, all of a sudden,
I've already got that video shot at home.
his nuts start
me.
beeping. His nuts start beeping, and he starts going crazy.
The dog shock collar action.
Yeah, and they're shocked. I thought, were they squeezing them or whatever? But apparently, they're shooting electric stingers. And she comes over with her earring, which is the thing that activates it, right?
Of course.
And she's just like, because girls would make it out of jewelry.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a important tactical thing.
Yeah.
Let's accessorize it, because that's what happens when girls rule the world. Okay.
Surprised they weren't pink.
I'm surprised they weren't also.
Well, her dress was white.
Yeah.
It's got an accessory.
That's true. That's true.
So she must have pushed her earring to shock him there beforehand too.
Right.
Because I was a little confused by that, because later on it starts
Distance.
beeping
I think it's
at a higher
distance
pitch
and not
by how
shocking him.
far. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, that doesn't make sense with how you set this up. But now, if you think she must have pushed the earring.
She must have,
Yeah.
because it's supposedly distance will make it explode. Her earring will shock his nuts.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's what she tells him. She
Yes,
comes
I get
over
it.
and she's like,
Yeah.
now you're on a leash. Okay. And nobody can open this thing except for me. And if anybody opens it besides me,
Blows up.
it blows up, which opened a whole can of worms of questions that I have. Like, why didn't you go with him if he had to pee? How's he going to pee if you can't open it for
got
him?
a flap.
Does she have to be there? She said if anybody tries to open it except for her,
Oh.
then it blows up.
She probably meant to take it off.
Yeah, I think she meant to take it off.
I don't
That's
know.
what I think.
Because it's government property. Is he
they
allowed to
wouldn't-
even touch it?
They wouldn't care if it flaps open a lot. They want
Government-
him to flap it open a lot.
I know. But while she's there, apparently.
Not for the non-fertiles, though.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Right.
I guess
You got to
that's
save
true.
it.
Yeah.
I've got enough.
It's valuable government property. Okay?
Yeah.
It's the Statue of Liberty,
I
the
took
Grand
that-
Canyon, and Roddy
I
Piper's
took
penis.
that. My interpretation of
That's
that
before
was she
this
takes
movie.
it off, it blows up. The flap was his to control.
Okay.
I did take it the same way.
Well, yeah, because they open the flap later without her.
Yeah.
This
Allegedly.
conversation that we're having right now is insane.
And we didn't even get to all the rules. The rest of the rules
Yes.
come later in the movie, where she's like, don't try to take my earrings off. If you do, it'll blow. If
Yeah.
you look at my earring, it will blow. If you walk away, if you think about my earring, that will blow up.
Right. And if I think you're being passive aggressive, then your wiener's going to blow up too.
If you keep acting like a donkey, I'm going to blow you up. Know where to put the emphasis on which words in your sentence.
Nowhere. All right. Where are we? Okay, so now they're back at the fireplace because they're camping for the night. And Cindernella's stroking her gun, just looking at him across the fire. And out comes Spangle in camo lingerie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
In every scene, she's got fresh underwear.
Well,
Different type of fresh
She's
underwear.
got a whole bunch hanging back there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see. She comes out of that tent.
Well, she's got to keep him constantly excited.
in the camo just in case a
potent.
fight breaks out or something, I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know what I thought of when she comes out in this? Is like the person who wrote this. It reminds me of High Fidelity. High Fidelity, John Cusack talks about like, when I was little, I used to think about how women just are in lingerie all the time. And they get undressed and they take off their lingerie and they're just living in a place there'd be lingerie everywhere.
Right.
Like that's what this guy thinks still.
I think you're right. I think he doesn't know.
All right, let's not pick on him too much because I had this critique of Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
That here's this planet full of super powerful women.
Yeah.
They were all dressed in lingerie. So
I
you
guess
know,
that's true.
You know, I'm saying women maybe like to walk around that way.
And which guy wrote that?
But why camo?
Just saying,
Why camo lingerie?
Everyone loves Wonder Woman.
Do they?
I mean,
It's fine that she's in lingerie.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the guy.
I mean,
who wrote
Brian's cool with it. Okay.
I thought it was interesting that this first pair of camo lingerie did look a little post-apocalyptic and maybe a little,
Yeah.
patched up here and there.
I don't know.
none of the rest of them did.
I thought it was funny when she came out in that, and then she was like, "Oh, I just got to hit a stretch right here." I was like, "Oh, what's going on? You guys got a fire going?
What's up? You can see my rib cage? That's weird.
Yes.
Is that cool? You
I
guys,
haven't
just,
eaten in weeks.
you guys are just hanging out? Oh, you're going to keep your clothes on? That's cool. I was just going to stretch out a little bit before. I'm not doing anything.
You look great. You look great in this light. Good night.
And after putting up a fight and resisting for a little bit, he ultimately caves and grabs her and tries to make out with her. And she grabs her earring and shocks
Yeah,
him.
she gets pissed. Oh, I was
I'm only supposed
like
to
you were
keep
saying.
excited.
It increases your potency if I keep you at a level of arousal constantly.
I rewound this several times.
I don't think that's
For
true.
different reasons.
No, one reason. No, it was because it almost didn't look like she was the one hitting it. It almost, and then she was like apologetic
Yeah.
that she did it afterwards. But like,
I'm
if that was her
sorry.
goal, then why was she sorry?
I'm sorry, it's my job. I can't let you do anything with me, but I have to make you want to. And then when you try to, I have to hurt you. And here's the other thing. Isn't his nuts the most valuable thing? They should
Well,
be
she
treated
said it wouldn't hurt him.
like Fabergé eggs.
She said it
and
wouldn't hurt him.
let me hook up a cattle prod
I'm just
to
saying,
your
look,
underpants,
this is
and we'll see if it hurts.
post-apocalyptic
or
medicine
not.
at its best. They know what they're doing.
Oh, these are medical. Trust the science. Is that what you're saying,
Yeah,
Charles?
trust the
It
science.
absolutely does hurt him.
It's Fauci's daughter you're talking about.
She even
He
says it
knows-
won't
he
hurt
knows
you
what he's
terribly.
doing.
Yeah. Fauci's daughter.
If those are the most valuable things in the entire movie,
Yeah, did you know Spangle Fauci?
is that's why they never say her last name. It's the baggage she carries with her in the future, and she doesn't want people to discount her work because her last name is Fauci.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
all right, fair enough.
I'm not sure how that works in the timeline, but we're gonna.
There's
go
a
with it.
lot of conflicting emotions here. It's a tough time to live in this world.
I'd be having a pillow strapped underneath his groin everywhere we went if we were trying to protect the future of the known world.
Maybe like gently walking around, holding them up so they don't
I
dangle
definitely
too far.
wouldn't be like, what's happening?
I gotta get you excited. Then whammo!
Right. All right, I'm going to bed. I can't believe you tried to sleep with me when I danced around in front of you in laundry.
And it was not sexy dancing.
No.
Well, just because she doesn't know how, not because it wasn't supposed to be.
Well, I know, but she doesn't know what she's doing.
No.
It's kind of innocent. technique.
She's
trying to
showing.
show.
I know,
Yes.
but I think she was trained in
Yes,
the arts
she
of
did say that.
seduction.
I'm trained
but
in
that
the
doesn't
arts.
mean that she actually was that
No.
person.
Clearly, that's what they were going.
This isn't even the time when she dances. She dances later.
Yeah, so what happens is she goes to bed and Cintronella comes over and she's like, I want to see if it's true. Let's go. And she gets all over him. And then the boss comes back out and interrupts and she gets up and she was just like, I was just trying to keep the mosquitoes away. Like,
You're out of uniform, Corporal.
right.
There's the thing, Roddy's like, I should be okay. It's out.
Yes.
It's out of the flap.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
I could work with that kind of timeline, by the way.
Given the premise, this turns out this was the only nudity in the entire
Yes.
film.
Right.
Yes.
Given the premise, I thought there was going to be way more than this.
Yeah.
My daughter is still sitting next to me on the couch at this point, right? And this is going on.
The 6-year-old?
No, she's 20.
I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
But yeah, so she's sitting on the couch next to me and everything. I was like, how the hell is he okay with this and not with the dog orgy film?
Oh,
Like, how is Halloween 2 not back on the list after this?
The Howling 2.
Yeah.
Well,
I know.
turns out this wasn't all that bad, this movie.
It didn't. I literally, at this point, I was like, this is straight up Skinamax flick here. This is.
Right. It was trending that way.
Yeah.
This is the point, though,
Yeah.
where she came out of the tent that I was like, oh, crap, because my kids were in the room.
Yeah.
I went, pause, I will watch this later.
Yeah, right.
And I put it back on today, and my wife had not left the house yet, and she came out of the room, and I had it on, and I paused it, because we were right around this moment again. I was like, I know she doesn't care that I'm watching this. She knows why I'm watching this.
Yes.
And I still feel like I would be judged because I'm watching this movie.
I was watching it with my 19-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
She's an adult.
Yeah.
And I was sitting on the couch, and she is just making me die laughing from her roast. in
Yes.
this
Yeah.
movie. But then it gets to this scene, and
she's
I'm
just-
just like, please be over quickly. Like, it's awful.
Crickets going off on the other side.
Yes, it's awful.
It was the longest 32 and a half seconds ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. The next day, he's like, nobody goes on the res. She's like, you signed a contract. He throws the contract out of the truck, out of the van, sorry. And they throw him out of the van, and then he has to chase the van to stay in proximity all the way to
beeping then
camp.
too.
It was
Yeah.
I didn't
beeping
get
and then
the
beeping
beeping there,
higher and
louder.
higher and
Yeah.
higher.
That's
but
because it made
shockies.
no sense.
Was there, but she
No
did say something about a tracker in the other ear.
Yeah.
Is that
Right.
for that, Bill?
That was for the other thing. I thought, well, is there a tracker and a nut
Well, she
shocker?
can see where
Yes.
he's at if
Yes.
he's lost. Yeah.
The other earring was a tracker.
so maybe
You're right.
that's what that was.
Yeah.
Somehow it beeps louder when it gets closer.
Okay.
I don't know.
Or higher pitch. The pitch changes.
Bottom line,
pitch change, yeah.
he jogs all the way into camp, and then the motion tracker goes off, and they got to get back in the van and track whatever this thing
More-
is running around the desert.
Apparently, feral chicks to bang.
Right. It's clearly a human as they're driving around. Right.
Right.
You're just like, all right,
See,
that's not a frog.
With superhuman speed.
left. Yeah, I was like, how long does it take to run her down?
Because she was
All right, that's fair.
just outside of the garage.
She was-
And then they pulled out, and she was 3 blocks away.
Well, it's an old Chevy. It's not.
yeah,
very
well, I
fast.
did think that, but it's got to be fast enough that you can get 30 miles probably.
If they would have showed the thing going a little slower, even like
Yeah.
you're searching in the dark, you don't have to be speeding that fast.
I will give them credit. When it does come to a halting stop, there's no screech marks. There is squeal marks because of the brakes, which was on point for an old car.
Yes.
But the no concrete asphalt
Which
screech.
for most movies,
Yeah.
they have that.
So good job, director.
job, guys.
Donald,
They
Donald.
didn't have the money to
Proud
add
of
the
you.
After Effects.
Yeah, they wanted to, but they couldn't put it in. That's
was cut,
actually what
Charles.
happens there. Yeah. They catch the girl, they tie her up in camp, and then immediately Spangle's like, "She's fertile. I checked."
This was a little uncomfortable for me.
Oh, okay.
A little,
How fast they made the fire?
Yeah.
or how fast she knew it was a fertile woman.
No, they given her drugs to relax her so he can sleep with her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
A little too
that's
college.
the thing that
That
happened
was
in this
a little
movie.
too uncomfortable for me. And
Yep.
she's like, I'm good with it.
Yeah,
And he's, to his credit, she's like, go get it. She's like, hey, you try making love to a complete stranger in a hostile mutant environment. See how you like it.
no, yeah.
You're
It
saying
was-
Cosby wrote that scene?
Yeah.
He's like, it cut, or she goes, hold on. She goes, get ready for work, is what she tells him.
Yeah.
Okay. And then it cuts to a cord running up to a otherwise naked Roddy Piper in his metal diaper, sitting there, the cord going into it. And I'm like, are
They milking him?
are they charging it? Is
Right.
it
I
literally
wondered
like,
what that was.
is he plugged into a charger? Like, is it get ready for work?
I don't know. Maybe they're monitoring.
100%.
You've
He's
got a
ready to
high
go.
count.
I don't know. That was
Right?
a little weird.
I didn't even notice that. That's crazy.
She's ovulating and you've got a high count.
Right. She goes, all right, she's ovulating on the stopwatch. And then she's just sitting there like she's going to watch what happens at third base at a baseball game.
Yeah.
Right? Like she's staring down the line like an umpire.
Yeah.
Right.
Giving signals.
Yeah.
Grabbing the brim of the hat, shoulder to shoulder.
And he's like, can she catch a quick shower? And then,
Maybe brush her teeth
maybe
real
brush her
fast.
teeth really fast. We're good. She's like, no, man, get in there. She's ovulating. Let's go. We got to do it. How about a little atmosphere or something? He says.
Yeah.
Oh, you need inspiration.
She's like, lucky for you. I've been trained in the art of seduction.
Have you?
Oh, this is where she does.
Yes.
I gotta be honest.
She watched the training video. It's like a corporate training video for seduction.
I gotta be honest. I'm easy. That would work for me.
Hi, welcome to MedTech. You're going to love working here. First in our training, we're going to make sure that you're up
Oh
to
man!
on
After
the
just
art of
onboarding
seduction.
with a pretty large company that made me do tons of
Yeah,
videos,
that's right.
I totally get this kind of thing now.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
that would be hilarious. Yes.
Session
One
2.
needs to seduce.
Session 2, how to tell if someone's fertile. Session 1, the art of seduction.
Yeah. How to smell a fertile woman from 30 yards away.
Seriously. It's awful. And
Section 3.
he ends
Shocking
up,
nuts.
He ends up right. And accessorizing.
Yeah.
He ends up doing the deed, but it's out of pity for her. He's like, if you stop, I'll do it.
You
right?
seduce the hell out of me. I'll bang the chick.
Oh, no. And he's like, put your blouse on.
Yeah.
Put your blouse on. And she can't even figure that out. She's like, the sleeve's wrong. I'll just cover it like a scarf. That's
This is
fine.
how we do it, right?
I wanted to be like, just take a moment and pull the sleeve out and put it on.
Oh my gosh, she was so bad at it. And there was a frog watching them with binoculars.
Oh, I
Right.
forgot that.
Ribbit. Right?
Was it the frog or was it the bad guy?
There was a ribbit. There was an audible ribbit.
Okay, maybe it was a frog.
But it was a gas mask looking dude, so I don't know. Nothing makes sense.
yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Ribbit, which can only be referred to as, oh yeah, baby. Like that's, I don't know.
I think that's frog for jackpot.
yeah, whatever. The next morning comes and I'm like, so are they just going to release her into the desert or
Right.
or is she coming with? Like,
They did.
He washed her, cleaned her up.
yeah, she had a new outfit.
They were like, "Did you do that?" No.
she was thrilled.
She was very excited. Yeah.
She hugged him, thanked him.
Just walk south. You'll get to a border crossing, and they'll treat you like a national hero.
Because you're
right.
pregnant now.
Because you're pregnant. I checked.
They'll know.
I also know how to tell that you're pregnant.
Seconds later.
Right?
Oh yeah, I forgot that taking a while a little bit.
Yeah. So it's just the whole thing's weird. She gives him directions to the frog compound.
future. Maybe
it
they-
says, well, the girls that are captured there are passives. This is an important plot point. And they won't raise their hands.
Oh, that's right.
in
That's right.
Violence or
Pacifist
fighting in any way. They're
faction.
pacifists
Yes.
completely. So they're not going to help you like fighting to get out of there or whatever. All right, here's a watch. Go walk that way. Someone will pick you up. Bye, pregnant lady.
Yeah.
And off they go, back on their way again. They finally get to the outskirts of town. She dresses herself like a prisoner and hands the chain to her collar to Roddy Piper to march her into town.
She's got the black, sexy, chained up lingerie on.
Right. Because copyright. Otherwise, she just would have been like in Leia's slave outfit for sure.
You
Right?
couldn't find a beekeeper outfit? Honestly, wouldn't it be easier if you found one of
think
their
that's
helmets and put the helmet on?
Yeah.
That's the
Everything else
scene-
looks the same.
That's the scene too, where she opens up the back door and all the lingerie's hanging in the back of the van.
Yeah, right.
Like it's guns, like weapons, but it's
Right.
all her different lingerie she's got to wear in this mission.
She's Rambo for seduction.
Yes, she is.
That's what she
That's
is.
what
I must say
MedTech's all
too
about.
that at one point right in here you see Citronella walking around, and she walks away from the mounted gun, but she's wearing like a freaking necklace, a belt for the mounted gun.
And
It's not attached to the gun at all, but she's got a
Yeah.
And even my daughter was like, I don't think those bullets go with that gun.
yeah.
That's 'cause
I mean they
don't.
match well.
But again, it's accessorizing. That's
Right.
what they're
Yeah.
doing. It's about the look.
These are
Clint.
accessory bullets.
Okay. It's about completing the ensemble. They live in a giant old broken down refinery, the frog,
Yeah,
because of course they do. It's where they could shoot.
Yep.
And so there's a big welcome to Frogtown sign. And they found the bar pretty easily.
This is insane because
Yes.
they're like, do you know how hard it's going to be to go into, no one goes into Frogtown.
All the buildup.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't go into Frogtown. You don't go into
Right.
this territory.
Death awaits you all.
You can
Oh,
go
my
in-
buddy's here.
Turns out you can stroll right into the bar in Frogtown, watch some little frog lingerie show on the bar while
Frog
you order your
strippers.
frog burger and your frog swamp water, whatever the hell they're drinking
Get
here.
some frog buffalo wings.
Absolute most negative thing that happened was one person went, "Oh, there goes the neighborhood."
Yeah, right.
That was it.
It looked like a kind of chill place to hang out.
Yeah.
There's somebody reading the Frog Prince over there in the corner.
I mean, they did get captured by the bad guys.
only after a while, but yes.
It was one of those cool bars with books and like board games you could play.
Right.
Some people played Scrabble.
Exactly.
Ribbit again.
There should have been a freaking video game cabinet in the corner of Frogger. Missed opportunity.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you. I
Missed
thought the same
opportunity.
thing.
And someone was reading the Frog Prince.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
How do we not have Frogger on the arcade machine?
The Frog Prince comes back at my summation.
Does it really? Perfect. I can't wait. That's a teaser,
Spoilers.
ladies and gentlemen.
That's going to make you
Do you like how I use the fancy word summation?
That's why I have you on the show, Chuck. Okay? For that
There will
kind
be a
of...
summation for Hell Comes to Frogtown.
Yes, and whatever that means, I'm excited about it. All right, he runs in, he drinks a can of toad piss or whatever and toxic waste, whatever.
Oh, I went so bad it crosses his eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does cross his eyes.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
thought for a second he was having a stroke.
Oh, was that good?
I'm like, wait, does his eyes always cross? And I just never noticed it? The camera angle or something?
He meets his friend Looney at the bar. My old buddy, my old pal.
Yeah.
Oh, I got 9 lives left, buddy.
you
I
were
couldn't
dead.
believe I thought you
Yeah.
were, you son of a so-and-so. And they're having their old catch up, and they're sitting there having a normal conversation. His friend doesn't blink an eye that he's got a blonde woman prisoner with a dog collar on. Doesn't even flinch. Like, so what's up? Did you catch the Mets game last week? Like, it's totally cool that this woman's a prisoner.
I know post-apocalyptic world's got a different set of expectations and mores.
So I need to know more about Sam Hell, I guess, is what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
And he talks
Well,
to her too, doesn't? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they call me Looney because like
Yeah, I'm Looney
it's
Tunes.
fine.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a point before this.
Please.
Is as they're walking up, she's still got her glasses and her hair up.
Yeah.
He stops,
Oh,
takes
yeah.
the glasses and throws them away and put the hair down. And then my wife's like, oh, so sexist. Now all of a sudden she's super sexy because they don't have glasses.
Yeah.
But my thought was,
It's a teen movie.
if people wear glasses, I wear glasses, right? I need
Don't
glasses.
do the glasses off to me again,
Oh,
Chuck.
that's right. I won't. Oh, don't worry.
Not in
But
the future
If you take
after
the glasses
bombs.
off, how's she see?
I don't think she can see anything because I think they had a scene early in the movie where
Holy cow, James.
she took the glasses off.
Did you just get hot? Tussle your hair a little. There it is. Oh my God. Get him some heroin, guys.
I'm trained in the art of seduction. I just don't use it in this room for obvious
I
reasons.
should unbutton this button.
No, all right.
Whoa.
Guys,
Whoa.
please.
That whole oh boy. Sorry, I was talking at that point.
Getting a little June in here.
The frog stripper comes by and says, I love you.
Yeah, that's the code.
That's the code,
She says
guys.
the code.
That's the code.
Yeah.
She's our inside frog in the to basically the one that tells feeds
Yeah.
I can't speak. The mole, the person that gives him the inside information.
Yes.
Yep.
Jeez Louise. He goes over and he's like, Looney's like, if you want to barter around here, you got to talk to Leroy. I'll set up that meeting. We'll get
Leroy.
over here. So Leroy the
Jenkins.
frog.
Okay.
And I thought for a minute they were all going to be like these half frogs, but I think Leroy's the first like full on
Yeah, he was a big frog guy.
frog.
Frog.
Yeah.
guy.
And I was like, oh, thank goodness. There's some real frogs in here, dude.
Yeah.
Because I would have been really annoyed if it had just been
He was a bigger than life character too.
Leroy.
Yeah, he had a good accent going. And
Yeah, he was really
a
going
character.
for it.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
a character.
He wants to buy Spangle, not to be a sex slave as Piper assumes
Yes.
that's the case,
Yeah.
but to
Yeah,
be
look
a
at her.
dancer.
Look at how skinny she is. Look at her skin.
dance.
Look at her teeth. These are good.
Wait till you see her seduction dance.
Yeah. Well,
It's
that's
really
what he actually
good.
wanted.
Oh, it's really good. He's like, I'm looking for a dancer. I got to upgrade. There's nothing but crappy dancers. Like Arabella's standing right there. Hey,
It's like, oh, hey. Whoa.
they're gonna
Yeah.
barter, and then what happens is another frog comes in with an
Rival
eye patch.
frog.
Rival frog.
Bull.
Bull.
Oh.
Oh, I loved Bull. My
Bull's
favorite
awesome.
character in the entire.
Bull was
movie.
quite the character.
Bull comes in.
Bull was going for it.
A
Bull.
private barter.
Barter.
He yells like that.
Yes, that's all he does. And he always goes up. His all
Yes.
speech starts low and ends high.
You got a name? They're going back and
Yeah,
forth with
yeah.
Sam, and then he says, private barter? Well, Bull, shut your hole. I was like, I don't care if it's the bad guy. It's my favorite character.
And you know where we are in the movie? Really close to 20 minutes to the
Yeah,
end.
that's about right. That's about right.
Really close to the end. He
This is where it gets good.
gives it a public auction because there's no private auctions, right? And
Right, yes. That's
gets her for 5 lilies.
lilies. And I didn't catch lilies at first.
Yeah.
Oh, lily pads.
Lily pad.
I didn't have a single lily. You could have $6 million when you walk into this place. You ain't got a single lily pad. You ain't got jack.
Don't got
That's
Jack.
it. Doesn't matter, man.
I also like how the frogs call humans flat lips.
Flat
And
lippers.
humans
Yeah.
call them squid lips. So,
It's perfect.
yeah.
The Toady is the main guy. The Bull's the second banana as far as, and Toady shuts down the bar as recompense for what happened, and then they all are taken off. Right, and Sam gets knocked down and knocked out, and they take the girl away, and Arabelle is the one that wakes Sam up. You know, the frog stripper. Right, I love you, and he's like, "No, I know. You already told me." The coach. He's like, "No, we're gonna get it on, right now."
No,
and
I've-
you got to
I've heard
promise.
tale.
You're gonna promise. You're gonna beat the crap out of me while we do this.
Don't be gentle.
I
Not be gentle.
chucks her across the room. She's like, "I knew this was
This
gonna
is
be
what
great."
I wanted. Buckle up, baby.
It's awful, dude. And his groin starts beeping, so he's like, "Oh, I got to find her." Well, I was going to,
Before that,
but
He's
he
like,
throws a bag on.
Yeah,
he's
he's
like,
like,
literally,
"It's a
could you
bag."
put this on first? Oh, is that what you like?
it's just a kink thing, he
Yeah,
says.
it's just a kink thing
I
I've
forgot
got.
about the bag.
Yeah.
She's all about it. She's got the bag
Like,
on her
whatever
head.
you want, let's do it.
So
No
much
thanks.
degrading crap in this
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, quite a bit. I mean,
Quite a bit.
frogs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Frogs have feelings
They
too.
do.
Did we pass the part where Bull takes?
It's not hot and cold.
This is what's happening up now. So,
Oh, perfect.
yeah, so he takes Arabelle, not Arabelle. Arabelle is the frog stripper. These are sentences I never thought I'd say.
Yeah.
He takes Spangle, and you talking about when he wraps the chain around the bar twice?
Securely.
It's like the,
Like a horse.
yeah, it's like a horse, totally.
Now,
It's sort of like, why even bother?
Did you see
As a
what's
director,
worse?
why don't you go? Just let her stand there.
Yeah.
There's guards right there.
Did you see what was even worse than that? After he walks away and she goes to unwrap it, instead of just pulling on it as you would, she actually reaches under the bar and
Yes,
lifts it over twice.
Her best acting, selling, having to get the
my
chain off the thing.
Well, how are you going to get it off if you don't undo what the frog did?
Maybe she's trying to be quiet.
Walk that way.
And it just comes off behind.
Yeah.
Falls right off.
She had to get down too, get down close. Her head's down there, like, okay, how is this wrapped?
Let me examine.
Lefty,
situation here.
Lucy, one,
Left it,
two.
I did always wonder, does that horse thing work? You just flap twice and the horse stays
Just because the horse doesn't pull against it.
Yeah, well, horses are dumb. That's the thing.
Are
Like,
they?
she's a human person.
Are you saying that these human people are dumb? Did you just say that women are dumb?
No, I'm saying you can get away with tying a horse up like that because a horse is just like
Yeah.
staring off into space,
well.
chewing.
And there's water there. And
They're
Yeah, whatever.
pacifists.
They don't,
want
care.
to fight.
Right. They're passives, sure. He brings her over in front of Toady, the head frog, and Sam gets up on the catwalk up above them, and they're talking to some random gas mask guy about some shipment that just came in, right?
Yep.
And Sam falls through. He can't just stand there.
I know.
Right.
Okay, and eavesdrop. He, for no reason, falls through the railing of the catwalk onto the ground, and they're both taken away in different directions, right? Bull takes him away.
Yep.
Toady takes her away to join the other passives or whatever.
Right.
And I'm just like, okay, freaking morons. Here's what happens now. And this is intercut, but I'm going to take one scene at a time, okay? First of all, we wake up to Spangle having her body awakened by the passives. We've been told to.
Apparently by waving cloth above her.
Right.
all you need is a sheer piece of silk.
And I told my wife, I was like, we got to get some of that silk.
We've been told to awaken your body. She's like a Red Bull will be fine. Like,
Yeah, right.
A cup of coffee.
And one of them is dressed like Thing 1 and Thing 2 from Dr. Seuss. He's got a full red with a aqua boa on.
yes.
Gosh.
Yes. And they're just up and down like with those parachutes. you
Yeah.
used to do in the
Yeah,
yard.
that's
You know
right.
what I
Ready,
mean?
let's do the bubble. Everyone sit on it.
That's right.
That was the best day in gym
The
class.
best. Oh gosh, when they busted that out, it was
Popcorn. They threw some Nerf balls on there.
Right.
Go, keep them up.
That's why she was so excited. She's like, "Oh, I remember this. This is the best." She got real excited about this thing, and
We don't have time for this.
she just
Keep going.
getting more and more and more excited. Now,
They drug her too.
I don't know. I don't think they ever said they did.
This was the 80s. I don't think they had to drug it.
Now, we cut over to Sam, who is hanging up by his handcuffs or whatever he's secured by above his head, and Bull is in there with him. And Bull walks up and touches the man's groinal region. He taps on it.
His cod piece.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't care if you had a 2-foot thick codpiece. I'm not going to tap.
I am going to make you tap my cod piece before you die.
There could be a great distance between both sides of that, and I am not touching it. Okay, there's no.
I didn't
way.
say I was going to have to wear it.
Bull is taunting him. He touches his freaking belt. How about your girlfriend? She's getting ready for a night she'll never forget.
Nailed it.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Chainsaw comes out.
Dude, when I saw him go chainsaw to groin, I was legit thinking about Chuck and the Ice Road Truckers chainsaw dork thing he was talking about all those years ago.
Yeah.
And then you come in and tell me Chuck's on this episode. I was like, oh, come on.
Well, how about you check the gas on the chainsaw before you fire it up, man?
What's funny about that is I mowed my grass yesterday, and my lawnmower cut the backyard. I was about to go to the front yard, and it just died, and I couldn't get it to start again. And then I have an extra lawnmower. It's a long story. Anyways, I can't get that dumb mower to start. And I'm like, those darn small engines are always causing trouble.
Right.
Check your fuel.
Do it.
Did you have? Was that a gas?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, I was hoping that was the end of the story.
It might be out of gas. Actually, I should
He didn't check yet.
So the connection was just small engine.
To this day, he's just got lawnmower stacked on lawnmower, and as they stop working,
I
he
do,
TVs in the
I do have a
80s.
problem getting rid of things. So
Put the new
it's
TV
true.
on top. Yeah.
He runs out of gas, he gets another
Do
one.
you want to know why I got the lawnmower?
yes, of course.
Okay, so
To mow the lawn?
I had a Toro. I had a lawnmower. It wasn't very good. Like I said, I'm going to get a Toro because they have great snowblowers. So I got a Toro, but I didn't pay attention. This is not a side exit. It's only a mulching mower.
Sure.
With the bag on the back, which is worthless, right? Especially since I only mow my grass once a summer.
Right. Once a summer.
Yeah, pretty much. So I'm like, crap, I can't cut my grass. It's too
Wonder
tall.
why
It just
your lawnmower
bogs down
stopped.
every single time. I'm not making one pass and dumping it.
Yeah.
And I just happened to leave one morning, and the neighbors had put a lawnmower out on the street, and it said, had a little sign, working, and it had a side chute. And so I brought that bad boy home. Sure enough, it works and cut my grass. So now I have two
Hey,
mowers.
it's a hobo mower.
It's a hobo mower.
I love it,
Yeah.
man.
But now I'm not a hobo mower, nor my fancy Toro. Oh, and this is the other thing that pissed me off. Right on the top of the Toro says, guess what it says?
One cut.
Guaranteed to start.
Nope.
And I'm bringing that thing. I got a bad shoulder. It like practically sent me to the hospital. 15 pulls, never starts. I even throw some starter fluid in that bad boy.
I would say if you're going to get a lawnmower, rescues are the most humane way to go. Do you know what I mean?
You guys have lawns. That's amazing.
Lawnmowers just sitting out there with
that's
a
my,
sign, we'll mow
That's
for
my very
gas.
middle-aged dad Chuck story for the day.
All right, love it.
I
love it.
lawnmowers. Thinking about getting an electric lawnmower now. Those things guaranteed to run.
Plug it in, man.
Until they don't.
No, they don't.
Just like Toro.
When is Tesla coming out with a lawnmower? I'll get one if Tesla does it. Speaking of Tesla, he would love MedTech.
Yeah, he would.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Let's get some more babies.
That's right. He's the last man standing.
Right, man.
I bet that Roddy was happy with the chainsaw, though, by the array of
gosh.
other dirty, old, rusted tools on that.
Well, he's like, please don't. Yes. Oh gosh, there was some gross things.
And he also said, you can't cut off, it'll blow up. And he's like, MedTech's not going to blow up.
Right, these are valuable. They're priceless nuts.
Yeah.
But now she gets taken off into another room.
Yeah.
And the distance is too big, so it starts beeping
Well, no,
and
the
shocking
sheet,
him
the
again.
sheet barely
Oh,
grazes.
yeah, that's right. That's
So
right.
it starts shocking his balls again.
And there's no problem with her having long hair.
Cut it off. That was stylish.
So her hair, wouldn't her hair be sitting up? Oh, I'm sorry, my hair's down.
I know it's a stupid reason to have, but that was hilarious, though. She's like, no way. And then you're like, cut it off.
He goes, cut it off. And Bull just goes, you're a weird dude, man.
Lucky for you.
The best line in the movie. Legit. That's my favorite line of the movie.
I forgot that line.
Is
I
the
have
frog
that down.
saying you're a weird. The frog trying to cut his codpiece off with a chainsaw, saying you're a weird dude.
But I wrote the line down. He steps back, and it's like one moment of sort of calm in this movie.
Yes.
He says, I got to tell you, you're a weird dude. You're one weird dude. I got to tell you, you're one weird dude. It's like the calmest he delivered that.
It's everything, especially in everything else he says is like, forever You know,
It's like he's playing a character, and all of a sudden he's just like, "This is the weirdest thing."
That was just him as the actor.
You know what it was? It's like he was standing there.
Just keep it that way.
No, he was talking to the director at this point.
Yeah,
It's like, you want me to do what? They just kept it
he
in.
probably
because you can't
was.
tell where the frog is looking because of the
That's
static
hilarious.
eyes.
That would be so great if that was true. He's like, "You are one weird dude."
It is weird. It's so weird, and I think there's something
surgical.
broken in my brain. This is what I thought when I was watching this, because my daughter had to stop. So he gets the chainsaw back going again after he puts some gas in it. He touches that thing to his codpiece, and so many sparks going up his nose.
The wrong sparks and go in the wrong direction. I know this is nitpicky, right? But chainsaws generally won't throw sparks, and if they do, they're going to be big sparks of chainsaw blade hitting the ground, not
Right.
what they're cutting.
Right.
And chainsaws roll chain away from you,
Yeah.
down and towards you on the
Not
bottom.
in Frog
Sparks
Town,
will
baby.
go on the bottom. He's holding his chainsaw
Maybe he's doing an
upside
upcut.
down.
Maybe he's like an ice sculptor.
Yeah.
He's really delicate with it.
He has to be
Like
super
I said,
precise.
Yeah.
He's surgical with this.
He
thing.
has,
has
to
to
because
be.
on the other side of that,
As some
It's the most valuable thing in the world.
that's right.
and a real big artery. If he gets that thing, they're not going to matter.
But what
Whoa.
struck me as crazy is as I'm sitting here watching this and I've got my notepad and I'm just dead face watching this scene and sparks are flying in Roddy's face, my daughter has to stop the movie and she goes, "Dad, we're watching a frog chainsaw a chastity belt off a professional wrestler. Just take a second." And I just started dying laughing because this show has broke my brain.
It is what it
Because
is.
that's what's happening. And I'm just sitting here going, yes, interesting. This is like it's the most normal thing that could ever happen.
It is for someone where it's their job.
This is what this show has done to me.
Yes.
And my daughter had to point out how
Super weird.
ridiculous this situation
I think
was.
that is that actor just going,
What
"The hell am I doing here?"
Add more to that. All the things you could be doing instead.
Also that.
Yeah.
Also that.
Such a long list of wholesome things.
I gave up a show at the
daughter.
Vault House for this gig.
Right, right. All right, so cut back over as she's being awakened. They're like, "You must participate in the dance of the three snakes."
Oh,
and
crap.
she should. And she was like, "Cool." She's been like, "Dance of the what now?" It was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
excuse me. What was
No
that?
one tells her.
I'd like to hear more about what she just said. Please.
One of my favorite lines is coming up too. Though.
Was it before the dance or after?
Right before.
Okay, go for
When
it.
So
'Cause
they lead
they're
her out.
leading her
Right?
out,
They
yeah.
lead her out in front of Toady,
Yep.
and he says, "Dance for me," and she
Yeah.
goes, "Ballet or modern?"
That's kind of that's funny, and it's kind of a meta moment. I was telling Jenna, Sandahl Bergman's a famous dancer.
Is she really?
She was in All That
Oh.
Jazz. She was in a bunch of Bob Fosse movies. She was on Broadway. Exceptional dancer.
Okay.
And so I'm sitting there going, well, they put this in here so she could dance because it's like having
I thought her dance was quite better than I expected.
having Beyonce in a movie and giving her an excuse to sing, right?
Yep.
You know, basically the same kind of thing. But that's why it was funny when she said that to me because I was like,
And he's-
that seemed more like a Sandahl Bergman asking, like, do you want modern?
No.
Again, she was talking
Dance
to
of
the
the three
director.
snakes.
They just left it in because they didn't have time to retake anything.
So it's almost like the beginning of True Lies where she's almost like doing like
Yep.
this kind of corny
Yeah.
dance. She's like, no, remember the
sexy.
No.
Yeah.
Do some more.
The
That's
excited frog noises were a little uncomfortable.
right. He was getting real horny.
It was
Get it?
Horny toad.
Because he's a toad.
and his name's Toady. And
right.
by the way, really nice Mercedes emblem around his.
Yep.
He was wearing the bling, man.
He's like, he goes, dance, remember the passion. And Jenna goes, and remember there's a pom-pom on your noonie. Because they just had like the weirdest freaking costumes
It
and
was a
whatever.
very odd costume.
She's dancing around. Meanwhile, there's actually plot things happening. Looney signal flares Cintronella out in the desert to start rolling in here, right?
That dance was the moment when I realized that's like her fifth pair of underwear, I think.
I think it is. As she's dancing and she's starting to get into it and she's starting to dance real well to the wind-up music that the one bike helmet toad is.
That's what he was doing.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell is that guy doing?
It's either powering the lights or the music, but I think it was the music.
Music. That makes sense.
And all of a sudden, she glances down at his frog cloak,
Yes.
and there appears to be 3 dancing appendages
We'll call 'em
underneath.
snakes.
We'll call guys. This thing has 3 frog wieners.
I feel like this is the second movie I've been on where we're discussing reptile or amphibian genitalia.
I think that yes, I think
What is going on in the 80s, man?
And you see she does this take where she looks at each
Yeah, I didn't need that.
one. No.
Yeah.
And
Oh, thank
you
God
have
I didn't.
awoken the three snakes. I was like, I have so many questions.
There's a payoff, though.
I don't know if, yeah, there's a
payoff.
good payoff, I have to say.
It's like
Seems like overkill.
that's right.
Yeah, what are you gonna do with the third? Never mind. Okay.
Don't know.
Like that's why these other
Interesting
women
piece
weren't
of,
able to take care. This is like
Interesting piece of information in this that she was supposed to dance naked,
Oh.
but she made them in the contract. She says, "I will not do nudity." So the
for her.
only reason there was one nude woman was the scintilla lady was like, "I'm okay with nudity."
She doesn't mind parading around in her underwear.
Yep.
But
She won't do nudity.
Got it.
it's reasonable.
Reasonable.
Got to
Fine.
keep something for her husband.
And I'm glad,
for
honestly,
sure.
she wasn't naked. That would be really uncomfortable.
No, that would have been an even weirder scene.
It was even worse than it was.
Right? It was already one of the worst things I've ever had to sit through.
It would have
I was
taken
like,
way
ugh.
longer to finish watching the movie.
I don't want to see one dancing frog boner, let alone three of them. And I'm not trying to belabor the point, but my God.
Were you sharing a snack with your daughter at the time?
No.
Yeah. Did you guys have had a communal popcorn? You would just be like, that's yours now. We can't.
Jenna's reaction,
I can't look at you ever again.
Right.
if we had been drinking something, she would have spit it all over me.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the shock that we experienced. Come here, he says. She's like, I'm not touching those. No, and the payoff is incredible.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Fires a foot shot into each one of his wieners.
One of them.
3 times.
Right in
So-
the dork.
Yeah.
He must have also 3
Yeah.
balls.
Or
3 pairs.
6.
Yeah, or 6. Yeah. 3 pairs of balls.
I wonder if there's any our Patreons or listeners can do some research and find out if there's any basis in reality for a mutant frog having 3 genitalia.
Yeah, please.
I mean, mutations are mutations.
Mutations
just
do
rest in
happen.
peace, everyone's search history
It's
out
like
there,
the,
but go ahead and find out.
I am
for
going to
us.
skip the next mailbag. I'll
like
just let you know that.
Well, that's what we're asking about. Is there 1, 2, or 3 mailbags?
Hey!
It's like the 3-eyed fish in Simpsons.
Just that's true.
Nuclear waste, 3 eyes. Nuclear waste, 3.
It had to have been a mutation.
Yeah,
it had to be.
maybe. He's got a lot of testosterone. Maybe that's why he's.
Let's
the leader.
dig deeper into this, can we?
Good, yeah.
Does frogs have testosterone?
I'm glad I don't have a phone because the things I would have searched for you people.
I'm just glad you didn't hit the sexy music while we talked.
Yeah, no, not at all.
So then under his frog. That's right.
We need some of that sexy saxophone.
Next time. So right as things are about to get a little rapey, in comes Sam Hell, kicks the door in. Eat lead, froggies!
Oh, that's what I wanted the whole movie.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted the whole movie. We're 20 minutes to the end here.
Yes.
Yep.
And he starts just totally blasting. Bang, bang.
This is what the trailer is.
Right.
When we watched the trailer on Trailer Reactions, I was like, this looks awesome.
And no offense to Judge Reinhold in Beverly Hills Cop 2, but this is how you look cool with 2 shotguns.
Yes.
As opposed, remember that? When he was
Yes.
just like, here comes Roddy Piper with the 2 shotguns. And I'm like, yes, this.
I love that he fires a shotgun, fires the other shotgun, throws one on the floor so he can rack the first one again. It's like, oh, okay.
All right.
And
cool.
he looks great with 2 shotguns, horrible with the pistol.
Yes.
Because he holds like straight out his elbows, and he's like, when he comes up to the guy at the end.
Yeah. Don't
Awful.
do that. That's terrible.
He was not trained with a pistol, only 2 shotguns.
Shouldn't these frogs been jumping all over the place the
Yeah,
entire
and what I was going to say, this is when Toady John Carter's it out of there. Flies out. Yeah, no Toad's jumped yet.
Virginia.
Yeah, Virginia.
No, but up to this point, it hadn't even dawned on me they hadn't until he jumped, and I said,
Yeah, I thought
"Wait a
that
second, they should all be jumping all
jump,
over the
yeah,
place."
yeah.
What's the only good thing about being a frog person is you can leap like crazy.
Maybe 2 other things. But
Right,
Yeah, I
what's
was gonna
two-
say, depends what your mutation is. I
I
guess.
suppose. All right, they come around the corner, and there's 2 guards guarding the girls, and Spangle and Roddy Piper are sitting there like, all right, what are we going to do? And she sees his locket. They try to introduce now, at this point in the movie, some character stuff for Roddy Piper. So she's like, oh, what's that locket for?
Hour and 8 minutes gone.
Right. It's
There was one mention of it of something earlier.
Was there? Okay.
That like
He
hinted
fought in
at
the
that.
war or
Blew it up.
something.
Yeah.
I always used to take everything seriously until they blew it up.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So this is what it is. He's explaining it. Yeah.
She's going to go take care of the guards off. She jumps out crying. There was 3 of them. Whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like, because why would they be like, oh, no, it's okay, human girl. Why aren't you in our prison?
Yeah.
No, she just beats the crap out of both of them.
I thought that was
Right.
good.
Yeah, that was great.
I kind of forgot she was really good at fighting.
Like, did you need?
Yes,
Yeah, she's really good at fighting.
Better than dancing.
Yeah.
for sure.
And it's important to note too, when he was explaining the necklace, that Cintronella was not there.
No.
Right.
No.
She did not get the
I didn't
explanation of
understand
the
that at
necklace.
the end. True. Yeah.
Because at the end, he gives it to her, and she's literally like, what is this for?
That's fun.
Thanks.
Why
Something
would
to
he
hold
give
on
that-
to when you get
Why would he
lonely.
give that to her anyways?
It does not make
That doesn't
sense.
make it. They must have cut something.
You are the only one who showed me their boobs. You get the
Oh,
locket.
that's
You get the locket.
daughter's locket. That's
That's why I don't know. The whole thing doesn't
She
make
doesn't even,
just
she doesn't
made it
even know it's
weird.
the daughter's. This
doesn't know anything. If that's even true.
pretty locket. I guess.
She's probably like,
Pretty locket for the pretty lady. I
you
don't
just found this? Or?
know. Weird.
They rescue the girls. Then Cintronella pulls up in the van and tells the other frogs, eat dirt or eat lead, right? And they made the right decision.
They eat dirt.
They eat dirt.
Yep.
5 guards pop out before they can get out, but Looney shoots a flare at their feet, and they all go,
They Zoidberg.
right? Seriously. And then he shoots another flare, not a gun, a flare. And
That's
kinda
it. There's 2
dangerous, though, aren't
shots.
that's it.
He's like, I'll cover you. One more flare.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
They load up the girls. Then they get Looney in the car, who seems to be injured. She's getting on the mounted gun, and they take off. I'm like, that's kind of cool. We needed an entire movie of all of this.
Absolutely. Even
Right.
the shots, even though they seemed like really low budget shots of them running and things like that, I'll take it.
Right.
Give me a whole movie of that.
Something. What'd you think of the tank?
Tank was bitching.
I thought it was cool.
What car
Yeah.
was that?
I don't remember what that one was. It's like
It's got to be a
At one
Dodge
point-
product, right?
yeah. At one point, I'm like, is that a Chrysler or was it? I don't know enough of that one, but it was modified enough. I couldn't really tell what it was.
I was disappointed because the initial shots look like a tank. Like they're showing, here's the barrel, here's
Right.
this. But then by the time you get to the first wide, I'm like, oh, it's a car.
They went
Yeah.
full Mad Max. And
But it was cool.
Yeah,
cool.
It was cool. They're chasing them in their frog tank, and as they drive away, she's like, I told you my plan would work.
What?
Okay.
Where'd you get your glasses back from?
And then
You threw them in the desert.
the car. Yeah, well, where did she get her glasses back from?
Well, maybe she's got a second
I don't
pair.
know. Where did she get her pants back in a couple
If I
minutes?
was going on a secret mission, I might take extra. I might take my old glasses.
True. Yeah.
Just in case I need.
Everyone's got the old pair in the junk
in the
drawer.
glove compartment.
Yeah, or the glove compartment.
Yeah.
for
Well,
sure.
you're saying she had a junk drawer in her outfit? She was
In her
wearing?
junk drawer.
I have a question because I missed this. How did he get the samurai sword?
How did he get the samurai sword?
Took it off of one of the frog people. That's all
There
I
were a
can
couple
think of.
frog ninjas. There were some frog ninjas, remember?
So maybe he killed him, took him off.
And we just didn't see it happen. I don't know. But that's a great question, though. The other thing that's dawned on me is as they're driving away from this Mad Max looking car with a tank barrel on it with these 5 virgins in the back seat, and I'm like, I think I saw this in Fury Road.
Mm-hmm.
And it
This
seems
is way before that.
real familiar, right?
Oh.
I was just like, right? A little bit. I'm wondering if
Fury Road.
Fury Road's like,
ripping off.
how about a little Hell Comes to Frogtown?
Rip off of Hell Comes to Front.
You know? Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Or an homage or influenced by, right?
Be,
For sure.
could Be.
I mean, Fury Road
Or we.
is way better than
Yeah.
this. But it struck me for a moment.
There
as I was
are
watching
people who have completely wonderful and unique to them ideas that somebody else has already had.
this. Yeah. Oh no, for sure. Looney dies surrounded by chicks, and he's like, "Oh no, what a way to go out." Nope, I don't care. Like, talk about a death where you're like, "Are we supposed to care?" And they try to make a big deal out of it.
I liked Looney.
What we saw him for
Likeable
4
guy.
seconds.
He's a likable guy. Did his role. He was a famous actor.
Was
Well,
he really?
He must have
Rory
died.
Calhoun.
Oh,
He must have died 8 times previously because that was his 9th life.
yeah, he must have.
What else was he in?
I don't know something.
Super famous.
He's so.
He
famous.
made a lot of movies. Let's just say.
So famous. So famous.
I'm like Rory Calhoun. Maybe there's a name like that on Simpsons or something.
Sounds like it.
Rory.
They start exchanging fire with the tank car. This was cool. But they ultimately stop because of gas mask guy in the road. Everybody out. Yeah, he's got a bazooka. And he pulls off the mask, and it's the cop.
God darn it.
That guy's relentless.
Yeah.
What in the Sam Hill?
Why didn't he just talk to his daughter and find out if it was consensual or not?
Yeah, right? This all could have been solved.
She's probably like, Dad, I know you're disappointed in me. We're gonna have a baby, but he didn't rape me or anything.
No, I'm going to sell munitions to the frog people
Yeah.
and try to murder him.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to have a grandchild,
Yeah.
and that pisses me
Yeah,
off.
Right.
Right.
You just
Okay.
get
My lineage actually maybe gets to go on when millions of others don't.
That's right.
I'm pissed about that. Well, he does have some issues. Maybe he knows his lady should die.
Maybe we should feel more sorry for him.
Maybe he's just PTSD,
Right?
traumatized.
Could be.
I mean, nuclear war and
Right. Well, no one ever
rough.
asks him how he's doing.
no one ever asks him how he's doing. No, even the nurse comes in and just orders him around.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Well, he did have some women issues. That's
true.
To his defense, we don't know how far the daughter is to have this conversation.
Well, that's true. That's
If the daughter's too far and he's just assuming that she was sexually assaulted,
yes.
I'd be a little upset too.
That's true. That's true.
I might get a bazooka.
How
He's
would
like,
we know?
I could call her, but I don't want to.
With what? I didn't see a phone.
That's true.
There's
No,
phone.
so just like, hey,
Yeah.
like call her.
Oh god.
Right. Yeah.
Can string.
Where are we?
We are at this
Oh, that's
point
right. He's got a
wishing we
bazooka.
had our own RPG.
Thanks to everybody who's still
He's like,
listening.
I'm tired. He basically says, I'm tired of the new world. There's too many chicks, and I'm tired of women running everything. So I gave uranium to scientists, and they're going to make nukes, and I'm going to take out all the women. Like, bro has some issues.
That's some issues. There's some issues here.
Yes. As he's pointing the bazooka, they all drop all their guns. Sam's talking to one of the passive girls behind him. He's like, hand me the sword. Hand you the sword. It's right there.
It is right there. I thought that too. Like
Yeah.
the reason you put it there,
It's
It's
right
so
behind
that you can grab it.
accessibility.
Right. Because when she ultimately does finally
Yeah.
push it forward, it's about 1.5 inches. And then he grabs it. And one of the best throws of a sword I've ever
Yes,
seen.
really impressive.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's pretty good.
Right through the guy's sternum.
Yes. And yet,
He's fine.
he's fine. He runs away.
Perfect.
It's like, what? Like,
come
I'm pretty sure that went through pretty vital organs, and that it would hurt like crazy if someone put a sword all the way through you.
Went around.
You not only would hurt, it would kill you.
Probably.
I think so. He comes around the corner.
I was like,
and
wait,
just-
It
where did
actually
it hit
goes
him?
in his armpit.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, well, maybe it went farther down his side or something. I don't know. I could have swore it went pretty centrally located.
He runs around the corner and just finds
Even if
it.
he could get it out, right? It wasn't that bad. of a
Yeah.
cut, like not that fast.
No, and
No.
you never
You would
pull it
still
out
be
anyways.
like-
You bleed to death.
You'd still be like, oh my god.
Oh, you
would've
want to
been
leave
better.
that sucker in there.
It would have been better if it was still in there. He's just running around.
If he walked away with it, yeah.
Up and down, cutting.
It would have had the same effect if he wasn't there still. Right?
Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Dude, we got to take it out, man. No. Don't do that. Don't do that. So he goes and tries to find him. He goes,
Following the worst fake blood I've ever seen.
Yeah.
they're like, Sam, where you going? To finish it. We'll be waiting at the car
Yeah.
for you.
But you stay here. Yeah.
But you stay here
Yeah.
and wait at the car. She's like, we'll wait for you at the car. I just told you to wait at the car. So
That's my plan.
good. Just so we know that I'm the one that thought of that idea. After you said it, it made it sound like you thought you came up with that idea.
Okay,
of
Sam.
waiting
I'll
by
be in the car.
Oh gosh.
Okay. It's the whole movie's filled with dialogue like this. And I love it.
Oh, good. Good.
So he goes, finds the body just laying on the ground. Bro is full on laying on top of a bazooka. Okay. And he is just like,
Steps on him.
he just looks over and is like, this guy's dead.
He dead.
Yeah.
I think he taps him, doesn't he? With his foot?
Yes, a couple times. Little light taps.
How did he conceal an entire bazooka
He did have a cape.
under his
He had a cape.
body?
He has a good cape.
If anyone knows what it looks like laying down on a bazooka, it should be Roddy Piper. He lays down on a bazooka every time he goes to sleep. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, I don't.
Do you mean his penis?
Apparently, the greatest one in the world is what I'm going for here.
didn't say big, it said effective.
Well, effective, fine.
Loaded.
Loaded. Thank you. I just assumed.
It's just marginally functional.
That's all it needs to be.
It's actually not even that impressive. It just works.
It's just the only one left.
Works. Yeah, I got it. So he's like, fooled you, pulls over with the bazooka, but he like kicks a rock as
RPG.
he's sitting up.
Hardly. He moves his foot slightly and disturbs some sand.
Silence of the Lambs moment here, and he whips around and shoots him.
Yeah.
He was
Great death. What a great death he did. He was so dramatic here.
He was a soldier.
Yes.
Originally in the war. So
Yeah.
the maneuver is fine.
And
with
the
me.
guy's like, oh,
the death was so good.
like that guy's earning.
Such a good death.
He's earning his paycheck today, baby.
Yeah.
Not only is he suffering horribly from a massive sword wound, now he's
Yes.
shot and he can still die like that.
Death.
Impressive. That's what hate will do to you.
That's because he shot him
Make
right in
you
his sword wound.
Just that's right, went right through.
Oh, are you kidding me?
It's that same anger that kept Anakin alive,
That's what it
burning in his soul.
He's
Well, that was the
died.
lava that kept him burning.
At least a woman didn't shoot me.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you.
He hears a launch. It's all like, boo, and then he like dives for cover. There's an explosion. I forgot that there's still this tank car full of frogs out there.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Somewhere. Yep.
He comes running back around. The pink 47 Chevy is
Just decimated.
Carefully disassembled and
Yes.
spray painted
Yes.
with.
That was
reasonably
great.
disassembled. Yeah.
I thought that was like burning fire and then
Yeah.
pieces kind of purely just
Yeah.
laid around, but they clearly
They
were
wanna
like,
put this back
We
together
put this
for
back
me."
together.
they're like, look, man, I didn't agree to you blowing up my van.
This was my dad's car. He's in the middle of restoration.
Dad's gonna be so
Painted
pissed.
pink.
Put it in reverse.
the miles aren't
The
coming
miles
off.
aren't coming off, man.
Miles aren't coming off. We got to put it back together. As he's sitting there trying to get all sad at the
Not succeeding.
succeeding, trying to get all sad at the blown up car.
And
the,
all of his
the tank
virgins.
pulls up, and he's got the bazooka pointed at the tank. Now he's like, "You get out of here! You run! If you want to live, you run, and you don't stop." And Toady also tries to get out. He's like, "Not you, Toady." The other two frogs just
Yeah.
run into the horizon forever. They're still running to this day.
He just says, "Not you."
Yeah.
It'd be great if they were like, "Who? Me?
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 Yeah.
You? Him?
Not you. No, not you. No, no, you.
Nope, nope.
You know what? All
Guy
of
to your
me-
left. To your left and your right.
The big one.
Everyone besides that guy, take a step back." Nope, no.
No. What are your names?
Ralph.
Okay, Ralph, you can go.
Javier,
Thanks.
Javier also can go.
Toady.
No.
You're the one. my name's Tom.
That's right.
Toady Tom.
Yeah. Where did you come from? I was up on the mountain here watching.
I just got here, man. I just look like that other guy.
I was watching your campsite a couple nights ago.
Nice
The
work.
two henchmen
Is
run
she
away.
gonna dance again?
He goes to shoot his bazooka and it's a misfire. And so then he tries the pistol, right?
RPG.
I thought Toady was funny in this. He kept going like, "Oh man!" And he like ducked
Yeah.
behind things. He's like, "Oh shoot!"
And I'm glad that they decided to end this with a fist fight. I was actually really happy about that.
There's a very famous location for this fist fight,
Yeah?
Kirk.
where he fights Gorn. In one of the most famous cutscenes or memes from Star Trek, the first.
Interesting. So I've
Star Trek.
I haven't seen very much Star Trek at all, so I don't know. But this is a big Star Trek
Yes.
location.
He basically fights like a lizard guy. I think.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
In that scene, yeah.
The location, though, is mysterious in the way that you feel like you're in a valley, gully, trench thing. Then all of a sudden you're on a cliff. Then
Yeah.
all of a sudden
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
top of a thing. It's like
Right, because at one point when he walks backwards and almost falls off, I'm like, "Why? I didn't even know you were close to a high place."
nope.
Yeah.
Right?
It was. I was like,
Yeah.
very just like jarring almost.
It was
like,
a little bit weird. They're fighting on the cliff. He's trying to get his hand on the sword because the samurai sword went flying. He can't get to it. He ultimately curlies, three Stooges.
I
the
said
freaking
the
frog,
same
right?
thing. I was like, he's got to try this again, but the frog goes like this. Like, they need to do this.
Got to put the block in. there,
Another missed opportunity. Frogger
Gotta do
and
it.
the block.
He kicks him off the ledge, and the frog is holding on to Sam Hell's leg.
And for the third time in the movie, apparently the samurai sword is just out of
Just
reach,
out of
but not
reach.
really.
Yes.
that frog is way heavier than him. I got to feel like both of those guys are going
Yeah.
off that cliff.
Yep.
Right.
But that's the raw power of
Determination,
Piper.
gravel gripping.
Yeah.
right? That's what I'm saying. The man was in the ring with legends. Okay, this frog is not going to beat Roddy Piper.
Right.
I needed the music to hit. I needed all that stuff to happen right here. Okay, and he's going to just go nuts. But he reaches the sword, chops off the frog's hand,
Yeah.
And then
the frog
apparently
falls.
frogs grow hands
really
back
quickly.
really fast
as they're falling.
while they're falling.
They are. Isn't that a thing frogs do? Don't they grow back appendages?
Starfish
No, that's
do.
lizards,
I'm thinking of salamanders. Or something.
salamanders.
Okay. Well, he's dead anyway. Grow that back. He goes back to the car to mourn, and she's alive.
He's alive.
What?
We hit.
And she has a new wardrobe.
I rescued it right before it got blown up.
Not only did I wait at the car, but I just thought I should change.
The explosion blew my lingerie over here.
I had time to get dressed. We were over here looking for you, man. We thought you were dead. This was your plan to murder me, right? This whole thing. I ought to kick your butt. They start making out.
Yeah.
and she tries for her earrings because she's like, no, don't make out with me. And she tries to zap this man's nuts. After everything he's done, she was going to zap his nuts again.
Because she's trying to save him.
I'm off your leash.
Oh, that's right.
That's right.
That's right. She says, you can't, I'm not fertile.
Which is romantic to her. When he's like, I'm not wired to blow anymore. And she's
So why didn't you run?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's important because he says, I want to save you.
I thought you'd miss
Yeah.
me.
Thought you'd miss me.
That's what it is. And then he gives the lick.
You're Mr. Romance over here. That
I
didn't get you
know,
going.
but no, I'm sorry. Nothing got me going in this. And I am the hopeless romantic, and I'm usually the one to
He's
buy
like
in.
complaining about how John Carter ends, and he's got a lovely
I know.
ending. I thought their chemistry was all right through the movie.
The love story of any film is usually the most important part to me, and I usually buy straight in. Not this time.
I was bought in.
I did not
thought
in
it was
any
love.
way, shape, or form.
Chuck has seen thousands of frog people adjacent love stories before. This is the best.
I cannot
Princess
be
and the
bought
Frog?
in. I cannot be bought in because of the fact that, this is only one of the reasons, because his mission is to go have sex with all of these women.
Yeah,
but he's
so-
reluctant.
Is he?
He is.
They get in the
Oh,
car.
the things I'll do for my country.
Yeah, he gets in the car, and she's all Twitter-pated.
Well,
Because
he gives the necklace to
oh yeah, to Cinderella.
for no reason.
It was like,
What is
it was
this
a Three
for?
Amigos moment, right? Right? Remember that moment in Three Amigos where Steve Martin goes up to the girl and he's like,
Yes.
I'll come back to you. Why?
That's right, because Three Amigos, the movie, sucked too.
Right.
Oh.
Stop it, dude. That's not true.
That's not.
It did
Have
come
you
out
watched it?
Yes.
Time
I know
is
you
great.
guys did the video
at the
on
time.
it.
It was bad. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway,
well,
it was
not well
it was that same
received.
kind of moment. But he gets in the car and she's like, maybe when your job is done, we can get a couple weeks vacation. And he's
Whoa,
like,
what are you talking about, my job?
Turns around and all these girls are like, hello, staring at him.
Soldier's work is never done.
That's right.
Except I delivered that line better than him.
Except
Whoa.
you did. A soldier's work is never done. And then credits. And then I'm sitting there, like I said, with my daughter, and I'm like, so the end of this movie is another woman saying, hey, maybe after you bang all these other chicks, we can go out.
You're
Well,
damn right.
It is,
Crazy.
it is a unique time in human history.
And
I
that's-
suppose.
That's why I
know-
couldn't buy this romantic story.
She's like, hey, I like the man. He's doing his job for king and country.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's the end of Hell Comes to Frogtown. Oh,
Because this is going to be the only 6 fertile women they ever run across. Like, he's not going to be tapped to go back to work.
no, right?
It's a complicated relationship.
What if they're terrible at telling who's fertile? What if she accidentally gets pregnant after she hooks up with him and she's like, oh no, everything we know is wrong.
Yeah.
Right? And they went through all of this for nothing.
Well,
That's
they
it.
got that
Frogtown 2.
No, they start having like 10 and 12 babies at a crack
what I'm
because
saying,
of
dude.
mutation. Litters of children,
Oh, man.
little Roddy Pipers.
There is one way we could have made this movie better. Okay.
Dressed Arnold up as a frog. He's big enough.
Make him bull.
No,
Can you imagine if
No.
Arnold?
I was thinking with the 3 snakes.
no, but
Yeah.
still a frog head,
I
right?
thought
But
two
it's
snakes.
it's Arnold's body. It's the frog head, and he's doing the voice for.
All right, here's what it's Toady. It's got to be Toady.
Does it have to be?
3 snakes, and I want you to make some excited frog noises in Arnold's voice.
Remember the passion, dance. No, because he was in True Lies, right? No, do it right. Come on, right? And then if she starts going,
Yeah, I'm sorry I asked for that. That's not what I'm thinking. He's disturbed enough without Arnold. I gotta wash myself.
You ever walk in the 3 snakes?
I took a shower before I came and take another one when I get home. Oh, man. I still think Toady would have been a good artist.
You ever walk in the 3 snakes? Get over here now. Be great.
I'm telling you, any answer is correct.
Bull would have been all right, too.
There's no wrong answers to
Arnold's,
this question this
Arnold
time.
with that angry
I
inflection he
wouldn't-
always gets.
That's what I'm saying, dude, right?
I definitely didn't want to see him as the dad cop.
No,
Oh,
not
no.
that part.
Yeah,
But
that's a
Arnie
terrible spot
saying
for him.
like, well, we're sorry, Bull. We just thought the barter shut your hole. Right? Be great.
Salmonella,
Salmonella?
citronella,
Citronella.
centrella,
No.
whatever
Are we
her
playing a
name.
game
Lord,
after this?
no. Yes, of course.
Oh, see, I'm glad I know the names.
Well, we're not playing Were You Paying Attention, though. So,
man,
sorry. I'm told it's
paying
a few
attention.
different games.
That's good.
All right, let's see what the patrons had to say here. We got Leo playing along with us. He says, thanks for inviting me to weigh in on such a fried piece of gold that is Hell Comes to Frogtown. Piper is my favorite wrestler of all time, and I love him in They Live, but there's no way this movie could have been benefited from Arnold as the lead. His one-liners would have been amazing. Hey, you try making love to a complete stranger in a hostile mutant environment. Let's see how you like it. That'd be good. Yeah. Plus, he could have solved the world's population problem in one solid afternoon. Although it could have been fun having him play the Frog King just to hear the line, "You've aroused the three snakes."
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. That'd be good. And then let's see Charles playing along with us here. I don't even want to take a crack at that last name. What do you guys think? It says, I'm so thrilled to participate. I've been listening to the show for a while. I shouldn't have volunteered myself for such trash. But then again, here we are. Hydebreader? Sure. Okay, cool. I can easily see Arnold playing Sam Hell. I'd love to hear him scream at his Claymore codpiece, electrocutes his balls. Well, you know, it'd be like all the time. Hey, you try making love. Oh, I just did this one. Yeah. However, to truly enhance the movie, I envisioned Scintilla as Arnold strutting around in a banana hammock and growling lines like, "I'm out of regs," as he rips his shirt off and climbs into a sleeping bag with Sam Hell. No, thank you very much. Instead of sultry glances, you get biceps. Instead of subtle tension, he rips the mounted gun off the Jeep and yells, "Get to the bed chamber!"
Nope. I was very wrong. I'd like to retract my past statement that there are wrong answers.
I love it. Arnold is Spangler. This is Nick Strong coming in here. Seeing him do the erotic dance of the three snakes would have been everyone creaming their jorts from 1988 on. No, thank you. And then Sean Matthews.
This movie aroused people's interest in a direction I did not expect it to go.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I want to go by Kunta. Kunta Kong is from Heartland, Wisconsin. We got a local here.
Oh, nice.
All right. This is his first time playing along with us. And he says, I feel like any of the frogs would be too obvious. So I went with Scintilla purely for the late night wake up kiss with Piper. Plus, she already has her own Arnie line. You boys eat dirt or lead. Now that's probably the most Arnie line in the entire movie. Yeah. Maybe that and eat lead. Yeah. Eat lead froggies. Right, would probably be the only two that would be ready-made. They have to change some of the other ones, but I think it's pretty clear that if I'm not even joking when I say this. If Arnold had made a low-budget movie in the 80s called Hell Comes to Frogtown with the same plot, cult classic, I guarantee.
Guaranteed. Right. Give him some Arnie lines, some classic one-liners.
Some Arnie buddies for characters to act against.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. 100%. No irony at all. 100%. Would be solid.
The other thing that would have helped was Arnold, right? And he would have gotten more money.
Yes.
They would have made a better movie.
They would have given him at least the $3 million or whatever they were trying to get originally. Yeah, probably
more money and him.
Yeah. Forget about it.
You could have some better action scenes. All that stuff can happen before 20 minutes left.
I'd watch a movie now with him at 75 hunting down frog people.
Yeah.
Like they could do this tomorrow. And I'd be like, better than this one. Sorry.
I would watch a movie over this of Arnold with a Red Ryder going shooting frogs.
There you go.
In a screen somewhere.
Well, now that we've settled that, let's move on to our actual awards. And we are going to start with the most prestigious award we give out, really the only prestigious one, the Will Patton Award for Intensity.
You want a war? I'll give you a war!
Oh, Gloss, I don't want them to gain another yard.
You blitz all night! And if they cross the line of scrimmage, I'm gonna take every last one of you out. You make sure
they remember forever the night they played the Titans. What are you doing with a gun in space?
Oof. What are you doing with 3 frog wieners? All right, Leo. That's right. Leo says, as bad as his performance is, he at least seems to be having a good time putting his all into it. So even though I would say he should be replaced by Arnold, I'm going to give it to Roddy Piper. He came to chew bubblegum and pork fertile women. Wow. And he's all out of bubblegum. All right, Leo. Clint?
I am going to go with Bull. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. The deliveries, the everything, you're one strange dude. I mean, come on.
She's going to have the night of her life.
chainsaw surgery.
I love it, dude. Charles comes in and says, I almost nominated William Smith as Captain Devlin for this award. This guy delivers every line like he's stuck in Apocalypse Now, barking orders, scowling at fertility protocols, and treating a post-nuke forage with Shakespearean gravitas. The death scene alone rivaled Roddy Pipe. In the end, I had to nominate Roddy Pipe because when that Claymore codpiece started beeping, the sheer terror in his eyes made me uncomfortable. It truly felt as if someone had his balls in a vice. The man sold it like his pants were about to detonate with the fury of 1,000 frogs. I love it, man. Brian.
Yes, sir. I'm also going Roddy Piper.
Yeah.
I think there are a couple other great choices. Clint, I loved your choice. But Roddy, the whole way through, super intense. None of it good. But he gave it his all.
Yes.
Which was all he could give.
That's
so
right.
he was pretty
I
intense.
say all the time, it doesn't have to be good.
Yep.
It just has to be intense. And let's see what Nick had to say. Sandahl Bergman as Spangler. She kicked more frog ass than Piper. And I'm assuming it was all because of her pent-up sexual aggression from having studied years' worth of seduction techniques. And when it was her time to shine at the campsite, Sam looked at her like a chimp in a zoo and told her to put her top back on. Yeah, I felt bad for her in that moment.
That happened in Cyclops, too. Cyborg,
yes.
Sorry, wrong.
Van Damme was like,
Just
put it
put it back.
on.
Put that away.
What are we doing here? Charles.
I also am going Bergman.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, I am actually. I had her
Interesting.
down. I thought none of the acting is great in this movie.
Yeah.
But I thought she was pretty consistently like I could sense she was really into this mission.
She
And
certainly
she was really into him by the end. I bought their love affair.
Oh, I can't believe
I think
this.
that they were. I think she was the Will Patton. I think she brought the intensity. She understood the role. She did the role.
You bought their love affair?
I did. It was cute. Other than sort of the weird twist.
You were in some sort of mood that day. Was that today?
Mood just last night.
Was it the part he dragged her across the desert on a chain? Is that, or what was it that made
Oh, I
you
forgot
think
about that. Yeah, I wouldn't do
they're in
that.
love?
But
You had a rough day with your lawnmowers. You're pissed off.
Thing. I mean, it's a weird situation. I know, but I thought I liked her as well.
All right, so it's 3-2 to 1 right now.
I'm
and
a loser.
Will Patton says, as the mark in me wants to give it to Roddy, but he was only truly intense during the fight with Toady. So my vote goes to Sek Verrill as Scintilla. Every stare, erotic gun stroking, and late night assaults were intense. And so my vote,
That ain't wrong.
no, but my vote from the beginning was always going to be with Bull. And so it makes it closer, 3-2 to 2. But ultimately, it means Roddy's going to win this. But man, oh man, whoever that guy was, and I don't know if the guy in the frog suit was the guy doing the voice.
Right.
So it's really the guy doing the voice more than anything. And if it's the same guy, cool. I assume it is, given their budget. I love that dude.
Yeah.
I would watch an entire movie.
I want to see the side,
With Bull.
like, I want to see him coming up through the ranks.
Yes, 100%.
Young Bull.
I love, and for me to catch a character almost at the end of this movie and just be like, fall in love with it, it was so unexpected. By the time we got to him, I'm like, when is this movie going to be over? And then I was suddenly excited to watch the rest of it. And when he died so early, he got corkscrewed by Roddy, right? After, I think we skipped over that part. He stabs Arabella and then gets stabbed by Roddy Piper. But I was bummed. I was bummed that a bad guy got killed.
Yeah.
Okay. But ultimately, Piper is going to squeak this one out and win the Will Patton Intensity Award.
Yeah, Bull takes a diaper bomb to the face. And
Oh, he
with
does.
not a scratch on him, comes back at him with that drill thing.
Oh, that's right. We forgot about that whole part.
We did. We skipped right past it. He's like,
kills the-
wired to blow, huh? Ha ha ha. Boom.
Boom.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then he comes
Oops.
back and he kills the frog dancer.
That's right. Yeah. Well,
That was a touching scene too.
I'm so sorry about that, guys. I have failed you and brought great shame upon my dojo.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to move on anyway because we've got more awards to give
Apparently, it
out.
was forgettable because you're the only one that remembered it.
I guess so. The next award is for who.
Except she gets the bag back out. And
Can we talk about that for a second?
That
Thank
was
you.
amazing. Not now.
She saves him and brought the bag.
She says, she saved him. He's like, I really owe you one. So she like grabs the bag like this is the moment.
Now.
Like now, like this, we're still in the, he's still alive. That was crazy.
Holding it over her head, ready to pull it down at any
He
second.
was down bad for him. I'm so sad we missed that part. People that are listening until they get to this point are probably going to be like, ah!
I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's all right. Sorry
They
about
stopped
that, guys.
listening a long time.
They did. A long, really. None of this is going to air. All right. So for our trash can full of dirt award, it's the actor, buckle your seatbelts here in this movie, that gave the worst performance. Let's get it.
Trash can, oh trash can, it's a trash can full of dirt, yeah.
Love never dies, and neither do they. Love is eternal, and that's a long time.
So bad.
All right, let's see what Leo had to say. So many choices, but I ultimately went with Sandahl Bergman as Spangle. She was supposed to be this in charge yet seductive siren, but too often her line readings came across as regret for signing on to this film.
Ooh.
Possibly. Perhaps. Clint?
I wanted to say right off the bat it was the father
Yeah, Devlin.
cop guy.
Yeah.
I wanted to say it was that deputy dude, and like legitimately, I went back and I looked and I thought about all these. Because I don't like the character, he didn't do a bad job of being that guy. I think it was just that character I hated.
Yeah.
We were supposed to.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm gonna go with Centella, because legitimately she was not a no nonsense. Like, she was naked. That's what she did. We could have got anybody naked. It would have been just fine. But like legitimately, no positive usage.
Okay.
Fair.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Honestly, in this movie, you can't be wrong.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, you probably can. I've been proven to be wrong many times.
You could be wrong that you could get anybody naked and it would be okay.
Yeah. Well, here's my proving to my
Chuck
point
in there?
right now. Charles, not
Other
Chuck,
Charles.
This Charles. Charles said also went with Scintilla.
Oh.
Okay.
Sentinella, whatever. Sentinella. She was supposed to be a no-nonsense military escort, but most of the time she just stood there like an NPC waiting for the player to press A. Here, the emotional ranged from slightly annoyed to somewhat annoyed holding a gun. Honestly, you could swap her out with a trash can and fishnets holding a rifle and no one would notice. In fact, the trash can might bring more heart to the role.
Wow.
Ouch. So right now it's 2-1 is the score as we head over to Brian, and I'm really interested to see what you're going to pick.
There's so many great choices here.
Yeah.
Like a kid in a candy store. I am going to go with Roddy Piper for this award as well. And it's because he annoyed me the most. The problem is They Live is a great movie.
Yeah, I like that.
He bothers the crap out of me in that movie too. This one is the same thing. It's these lousy line reads. He had an acting coach, like at least get him to put the emphasis on the right word. Like when he's going to get in that pink vehicle, he's like, I'm not getting in that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
That is simple. As a director, be like, hey, just put the emphasis on that instead of getting.
Yeah.
And then you have a good read.
Right.
Like, just so many times that stuff happens that it bugs the crap out of me. So, trash can for me.
All right. Fair enough, man. And here comes Nick Strong, and he says, Roddy Piper with a second vote. The guy had the acting range of a dead toad. All the close-ups of his junk were gross and unsettling or upsetting. If he had put the same type of energy into the final fight, into the whole movie, he probably would have gotten the Will Patton, but I was not convinced. Yeah, he had lots of intensity in that last fight, the bloody face and all. I'm like, I remember watching that last fight going, this is why you hire Roddy Piper.
Yep.
Yeah, to beat him up.
To this wrestling
while he
match.
kicks ass.
Basically, right? Because he can sell the moves and no problem. But the rest of it was pretty rough. Chuck, who you got for your trash can? It's a 2-2 tie right now.
I'll say this about Piper. I thought his facial expressions were quite effective.
Yeah.
I did think that. I think he's a better face actor, if that's a thing, than a voice actor.
Sure.
But I actually am going with Toady. Brian Free.
Wow.
I thought he was bad. He was really bad. Like, aside from the end, where everyone seemed up their A game here, maybe that was the beginning that they filmed and they got bored with it after. I don't know. Anyways.
Yeah.
And his few lines were pretty funny as he was getting shot at and freaking out. But
Sure.
he was terrible for the rest of it.
Not great at all. No, I don't think that's a wrong vote. Kunta comes in and says, I have to give the trash can to Piper. I've seen what he can do and when he cares in the ring and in movies, and this wasn't it. And so right now that puts him in the lead with only me to go. And guys, I was going Piper the whole way. Ever since his see you later, ladies. Much later, I was like, trash can. He's getting it. That's it. Unless he does something really great in the rest of this to redeem it. But every line reading was bad. Every one, minus eat lead froggies. That was it. And so I love the guy. Love him. This was bad. So he is going to do the, while probably very rare on this show, the double dip of the Will Patton and Trash Can Award winning Roddy Piper.
That is pretty unusual.
Yeah.
I just thought he was all right.
Yeah.
Towards the bad side, but not terrible.
Well, the next award we give out is in praise of people that had little screen time but did a lot with what little they had. It's the Bixby Snyder One Scene Wonder Award.
Oh no! It's boiling acid! I'd buy that for $1.
There is some kind of bug that we haven't seen yet.
Okay, USA.
Paper! I've never seen paper!
Frankly, I find the idea of a bug that thinks offensive.
Prepare to die, Powers!
So he hid it. In one place he knew he could hide something, his ass.
All right. So this is, again, one scene, maybe two, but who had very little screen time, did a lot with it. And we'll start with Leo, as we have been all night. The poor doofus, that's his name in the credits, who gets shot by Squid Lips in the opening scene. Alas, poor doofus, we hardly knew you.
That is his title.
Honorable mention goes to the Frog King's triple dongs. All right.
Wow.
They were only in one scene.
Yeah.
Clint.
I like to bend the rules a little bit, but we're gonna go with the frog stripper.
Yeah.
I like.
She was in too much.
She was in too much.
She was
too
in
much
like
of a bend. Like
three-
three scenes.
she was like-
How about frog stripper with the bag on her head?
those two.
That was
scenes,
only one scene.
Yeah.
She was in it a lot. There was
was
also
in it
her
a
up on
lot.
the catwalk when they were like with Looney. She had a whole conversation with Looney and another scene.
Then's gonna be Leroy. If that's too
Yeah.
much bending, I'm
All
gonna
right.
go with Leroy.
Leroy's good.
Because that was the
stripper
full-on
boss.
frog dude.
Yeah.
Who tried to do the deal at the table. Yeah.
That was good. All right, right on. Let's see what.
He would have had a really cool separate story too about how he came up to
Yes.
Frog Kingdom.
Charles comes in and says, there aren't many single scene action in this movie, so it was hard. But in the end, I decided to throw my hat in the ring for Leroy. See, there you go. The saloon keeper wearing a fez, running a mutant saloon like he's the maitre d' of Mos Eisley's cousin's dive bar. Even in full makeup, I felt that he was selling it, delivering his lines with the confidence of a man who has seen too many brawls and not enough dental plans. Love it. Nice job. All right, so that's 2 votes for Leroy. No one going with the news lady yet. She was so good in that newsroom. You know what I'm saying? Those border
No.
guards lounging in those chairs. Lots of options here. Brian.
Not a lot of good options here.
Wow, but who was the best? Not were they all good?
Right. There's a lot of options of people who are only in one scene.
Yes.
It's the best of that. I wanted to go Bull, but then he ended up being in like 3-4 little short scenes. So it's probably too much. So I'm going to have to go with Leroy too. After the first watch, I was like, I'm going to pick the Fez frog.
Yeah.
And got his name the second watch, Leroy. I'm going Leroy.
Love it. All right, sounds good. And then we got Nick coming in here, and he says, I will always and forever be screaming, shut your hole, thanks to Bull. I know he had a little more screen time than one scene, but the guy died pretty quick. This scene had me laughing so hard, I woke my pregnant wife up and half expected her to scream the same line at me. So thanks for the shout out for Bull, but Nick, that vote is not going to count, as it does not qualify.
All right.
Chuck.
I am going with Nurse Patton at the beginning.
Nurse Patton.
She does it. She's the best actor in the movie.
That's why I was like, why isn't anybody picking her?
And she delivers all the exposition in a natural way. She has
Yeah.
this whole thing. The war reduced our male population by 68%. It made most of the human race sterile, but we're still at war, a population war. Each side is desperate to rebuild and rearm. Now that requires manpower. Manpower requires people, and that's where you come in.
Right.
I can't believe you memorized that.
Yeah, it was
She
incredible.
did it much better than I did, but I thought she was like the actual competent actor in the movie.
That's probably the
Legit.
rightest answer.
Legit.
I'm an idiot.
No, it's fine.
And she stood off with the crazy Devlin and his nuts.
I think Leroy's got
character and-
2 or 3 votes, 3 votes at this point, so he's probably going to win. But we'll see. We see what Kunta has to say here. This goes to Cliff Barris as my boy Leroy. I popped huge when he revealed this frogman. His style was off the charts. He was smooth and gave Piper a beer. But I am also, although it doesn't matter at this point, going with the lady from MedTech. Absolutely, she was fantastic.
It's great.
When she did that little look to camera, she's like, "Your equipment is government property," right?
Yeah,
He's
the whole
got a
thing.
loaded
when
weapon.
when
That's
she's
right.
got it. Yeah, she's got him in the facility and
Yeah.
getting him ready and all. That was great. Every line was perfect.
But that's all right. Leroy's still also
Leroy
really
was a
good.
good
Plenty
one,
of good options, and he's going to win the Bixby Snyder One Scene Wonder Award. Love it. All right. Well, guys, it's time to land the plane and ultimately share, rather unburden ourselves so we don't have to carry this around anymore. How do you feel? Get all your feelings out of your mind, out of your heart and into this microphone, Clint, okay? In a minute, actually, because you're not going first.
Just about this movie?
Just about this movie.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Leo comes in and says, the first time I watched it was for Roddy Piper. The second time was for BMR. Was either worth watching? F no. Bad movie, full stop. Thanks again for giving me a chance to give some awards. Sincerely, Leo. Leo, thank you, sir. We appreciate you, man. Clint, it's now your floor.
James?
Yes.
Most of the time, I like you, man. Today, I hate you for making me realize that I like this piece of crap. This is a bad movie, and it rules. I like it. This was fun. It's your fault, and I hate you for it.
Actually, they voted this one.
No,
the patrons voted it.
You made the forum for which the vote could happen.
Yes.
To me.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I was hoping for Cherry 2000. I don't know if you remember.
Oh,
Remember
my
the
gosh.
trailer?
That
Yeah.
one comes up on the list
I
if you
know.
watch this movie of other suggestions.
Yeah.
James was like, have you watched yet? I said, I have, and I'm a little concerned that this is more perverted than Cherry 2000 would have been.
And America 3000 is on the list, too, if you didn't see the trailer for that one.
There you go. Good stuff.
It was going to start in 15 seconds if my daughter didn't get to that remote real fast.
Perfect. So a bad movie that rules and a bad movie straight up from Leo so far. We're going to head here over and see what Charles has to say. I went into this movie blind. Since then, I've watched it a couple times. This movie is absurd. Its plot is held together by wet paper mache of absurd acting, rubber frogs who seem very wet but live in the desert, exploding chastity belts, and the most reluctant last fertile male on Earth. It was deadpan seriousness wrapped in radioactive cheese. And as I watch this movie, I think this is ridiculous, but that's why it works. Yeah. It's kind of a movie where you're laughing with it and at it simultaneously. It's bad. It's Mad Max meets The Muppet Show meets Cinemax at 1 a.m. It's a bad movie that's a hit. It's a bad movie that rules. I love the show. Thank you for letting me participate. Regards, Charles. Thank you, brother. We appreciate you, man. Brian, the floor has now come to you.
This movie is degrading to women, perverted, boring, much too long at 2 hours or 1 hour and 27 minutes.
That's saying a lot.
It's after the first watch, I did not like this movie. But a funny thing happens when you watch a movie a second time is sometimes it grows on you. There's some sort of like, oh, I'm having more fun with this. Unfortunately, that didn't happen with this movie.
You hated it even more.
I didn't like it. And you want to know something the second time, especially until 20 minutes left, on Tubi, they have a really special feature. If you watch on your phone, you can change the speed of the playback. Oh. So I pumped it up to 1.5 to watch the beginning. And it was not even the right pace yet because it still seems slow. Some of the line reads actually felt right at that speed. I was nervous because James told me the story, Chuck, about how you had brought this up, like, hey, we have to get this on the list. We have to do this. I was like, oh, this is my first episode with Chuck, and everyone loves Chuck, and he loves this movie, and I have to come and rate this movie. And I'm sorry, Chuck, but this is a bad movie. Oh. It could have been a better movie.
I can't argue it's a bad movie.
Oh,
elaborate on some of the things that are there. I understand you lost money. I understand all that stuff. There is a bad movie that rules there that just didn't make it to what we watched.
I got you.
Yep. Bad movie, full stop.
All right. Respect to that opinion.
Yeah, it's a good opinion.
And Nick comes in and says, this movie's premise is whack. Talk about all the coke and pre-workout being tossed around the boardroom the day this dumb hour-and-a-half dick joke of a movie was greenlit. Bad movie, full send from me. Dang. All right. Well, it falls to Chuck.
All
Looking
right.
bad for me.
You feel
I'm on the
stressed
wrong
about being
side
on.
again.
People want me to be on this episode. I feel like I got to live up to something I can't possibly do. I have to say, I read a couple things about this.
Okay.
You might have a credit to the woman hating He-Man hero stuff because according to one of this, Jackson and Frakes, the writers, devised the plot as a reaction to the misandry, according to them, in the classical fairy tale The Frog Prince. I didn't have time to look up Frog Prince.
Seriously.
But is that the one where the frog... I don't remember.
He was a prince, and then he becomes a prince when the princess kisses the frog.
So I don't know what they're all upset about.
It's like from the Disney movie.
Princess and the Frog.
Yeah, Princess and the Frog.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. But they're both
Frog.
So they were trying to do, I think, that a movie that says, okay, men aren't terrible.
Yeah.
They're actually good at times. They can be. He was a good guy.
Yeah, he was.
An okay guy. Tough situation.
When did they decide not to do that?
They're also necessary for reproduction. Got to have them, which is true.
Yeah,
you know,
it's also true.
Pretty important for the human race. And they can actually, this one might be a controversial statement, but I think it's true, that they can actually care more about just sex with women.
I don't think that's true.
I do, because he falls in love with Spangle.
Yeah.
And they have
That's
a real
true.
love. He's got to do his duty.
I've been a man for
And-
45 years, and I don't think that's true.
They care about more than that. So I think that's what they were going for.
And him cleaning the woman was another shout out at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cleans the woman. He
Yeah.
shows some actual care. And he says, this is a really weird thing to do, right? I don't want to do it anyways.
That's
At
true.
the beginning, right?
That's true.
And he develops actual caring relationships for Spangle. He has some compassion when she's clearly uncomfortable with the strip or the seduction scene.
Yeah.
I don't think it was so much of, I don't want to be with you. It was, I feel sad for you that you have to do this.
Right.
And you're not very good at it.
Right.
And I'm out in the middle of hostile territory with frog people all around.
Yeah.
So that's my case.
All right.
It's a terrible movie, but it rules.
Wow.
It's a guilty pleasure.
I love
It's so silly. I'm glad they cut back on the. I would not have liked it if they had kept pressing all the Skinemax.
They have gone
If
hard.
they had gone full on that, that would have been too much for me. But it became playful enough. I enjoyed it.
All right.
It's certainly an acquired taste.
Well, there you go. You got somebody joining you right
Yeah,
there, Clint.
yeah.
That's awesome. Kunta Kong comes in and says, this is a bad movie. The story's bad, a ting bad, acting's bad, a script bad, action bad, but I couldn't stop smiling at this goofball post-apocalyptic sex comedy, so bad movie that rules, guys.
Yeah, I think
Thanks for the hours of laughs. Kunta Kong from Heartland, Wisconsin.
We tied it up. Coming back to James.
Look at
We're
that.
screwed.
It's 3-3,
We're
guys.
screwed, Chuck.
3-3. Now he liked this movie.
You like this movie?
I think so. I've been wrong before. I've been surprised that James
credits.
takes.
Since
He hates when we guess what he's going to say.
That's true.
Let's do
I
that.
shouldn't have said that because he's going to change his mind right now. Just to
But I
spite.
said the other, so.
No, I
Since
know.
the dawn of time, no, I'm not going to take that long. This is a horrible movie, and I love it. I love every stupid thing about
It's
it.
so dumb.
It's so dumb.
Oh, man.
I sat there, and Brian, everything you said is right.
I know.
Everything you said is right. It's degrading. It's stupid. It's gross. It's also hilarious. I don't know if it meant to be.
It's hilarious how bad they thought it should have been good.
Yes, right. All of the above. It's objectively bad. I would absolutely turn it on and watch it again. So it's a firm bad movie that rules for me all day long.
I can just picture these guys making the producers and the important people making decisions, watching this cuts or hearing how this is going, and at a table like this, going, "Oh crap!
Oh, man.
what are we gonna do?
We have to
What are we
release
gonna
this.
do?
What are we gonna do?
Wait! We're putting this in theaters. No, it's going back. I can just see them discussing this and going, "What have we done? Who is?
Well,
why have we
rewind a
released
little
this
bit to the pitch of this movie. Someone walked in and pitched this movie.
And got greenlit for $3 million.
$3 million. Oh.
Okay, but it's the same person that made Return of the Rollerblade 7. So, you know, they probably expected it to be a weird pitch when the guy came in, right? They weren't saying, oh, this is going to be Schindler's List
This
2.
is actually another example of what we saw in John Carter, of a guy going from Pixar, what he's very good at, that animation, that movie, right, knocking it out of the park.
Right.
Obviously, this guy's nowhere near that, but he was a direct-to-video guy.
Right.
Solidly B movie, and they're going to bump him into a release film.
Right.
And he's not competent to do it, and they get in trouble, right? So
Right.
fish out of water. If he had stayed fully in his B,
He might have been competent to do it with $3 million.
Well, it's possible. Yeah.
Right.
Look, what they accomplished with just $12,000 in the costumes, I was surprised.
Yeah.
Do you think, 45 years old now, 46, whatever we are,
5.
can we
9,
do this better?
8.
We'd want to, right? We don't have $1 million. Nobody's giving us $1 million. Assume
Clint,
we had $1 million, right?
If you think my wife would let me make
No, it has nothing to
Hell
do
Comes
with
to Frogtown.
that. Has nothing to do with what you think
You
your
are
wife would allow you to
crazy.
do. I'm just saying, though, put the skills to the table and stuff like that. I think we could do better.
Yes, about a different subject.
About the same subject.
that's
even. We could do the same exact movie, rewrite it, fix it up, and so I think that this could
hard
be made
pass.
better.
Yeah, I'll pass. I think it is what it is.
I'm not
It can't be
pitching that we
improved.
do it.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
No, for sure.
That's why it is. It's good.
I think
It rules.
given the time and the budget, we could do no worse.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
At least as good, for
Like
sure.
I think that anybody this movie is on par with anybody who at least cares about what they're doing.
Yes.
Oh, that's true, I think.
I would take out the whole one man to impregnate all fertile women.
That's the whole
I would have I expand the last 20 some minutes and have it where he's more of the hero to come save these fertile women
Right.
that were captured.
Right.
In Frogtown. And there's more action.
Yeah,
and
maybe
there's-
it's more that the fertile women are the rare thing.
Right,
And
yes.
not that the fertile guys are the rare
Not
thing.
that the one fertile
that
guy's
gets
got to go
creepy quick.
save all
Does that
of them.
get creepy too? Is
There's
that more
5
creepy?
women and 500 men?
Well, not that
That's
that's
not
the
what we're
only
saying.
5 fertile women in the entire world, but just that I know we're getting into Fury Road territory here, but basically Fury Road
I do see what you're
with
saying,
frogs.
though.
with frogs.
I do see what you're
Froggy
saying. You
Road.
make an action film, there's some damsels in distress, and you got a crazy man. It's a very different movie.
Crazy frog characters
Yeah,
and lots
crazy
of
frog
crazy
characters.
action with Arnie and one-liners.
Well, there
up
goes
the
the
wazoo.
million
Thank
dollars.
you, please.
But it's the fundamental plot of that makes it the sort of sneaky, funny teenage humor,
That's right.
right? That's why it's on Tubi. That's why it's there. You're watching it on Tubi.
Do you
What's the game? What's the game where you would jump over each other and squat down? Why can't I think
Leapfrog.
of it? Leapfrog.
I just got it.
What?
Burns names all the puppies Roy Calhoun.
What are you talking
Roy
about?
Calhoun in this because he was a famous old actor for years and years, and Burns was an old guy.
it's a
that
Simpsons
name has been
thing.
bouncing around my head since
He must
I've
have been
heard
in
it.
lots of movies.
I've
but
heard
was
it
just
so
Burns.
many times, and that's where I've Burns. Oh, look, it's another Rory Calhoun.
It's just thinking,
Oh, and this one's a Rory Calhoun.
when Arnold's
Excellent.
wow.
why we just went into the Simpsons there, and that's why I was so confused. When Arnie's gonna throw the final
I've been
frog off
thinking
the
about that the
cliff,
whole time.
that's his leapfrog, right? And then he tosses him, right?
You're totally dead.
Yeah, be great, right? Okay, maybe not. All right, guys. Well, look, thank you all for subjecting yourselves to Hell Comes to Frogtown. And next week, we are going with a movie about at the same level, I think, as far as quality goes. It's called Man of Steel. I don't know if any of you heard of that. It's a Superman movie starring Henry Cavill that I know Dave and Bob. What's that?
Well, they cut about $100 million off of that one.
I don't know.
And it still was $300 million when they made it or
It was
whatever?
a whole lot. And I know that there's a couple people coming in that are vehement defenders of Man of Steel. My brother and I have gotten into many arguments. I am not. I'm hoping that when I rewatch it, I will have a different opinion. But I'm looking forward to going to blows with Bob and Dave.
It's actually surprising me that it qualifies.
Yeah. Oh, it does. It's got a negative score on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's crazy.
How do we think the critics got to 60% on this movie?
There's only 10 reviews, and 6 of them were positive. So I think it's a numbers game.
They went to college with somebody who worked on the film. They owed them.
Yeah.
They were in it, and they don't want anybody to know.
All 10 of those people worked on the film.
Right, and only
And 4 of them were honest.
Look, you're not wrong. So, guys, thank you. And join us next week when we talk about Man of Steel on behalf of Clint, Busch, Brian, Chuck. Appreciate you guys being here, and we will catch you on the next one. Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit.
I'm actually glad you didn't put me on Man of Steel. Why? So I didn't gush more about Henry Cavill.
I could have further cemented your
Yeah.
status.
Henry
I just would have dug me a hole. Me too. He's awesome.
I like him in.
You guys are
what's
talking
the
about
TV
that, but there
remake
was
he
a
did?
frog named Toady that had 3
Man from Uncle.
Yeah.
I was sad it never got any more movies.
The Dance of the 3 Snakes.
When I first heard that, I thought, it can't possibly mean that, can it? Sure enough, it did mean that.